Chapter 678. Genius 1 second. Remember love go/small? We provide you with interesting novels to read. Everyone sat down and waited. No one wanted to give up on Night Sorrow. As long as there was hope, everyone would wait. Wu Lingfei sat cross-legged on a praying mat. Night Sorrow's phantom Dao stone avatar was placed on her lap. She was using her life energy to nourish it. Night Sorrow sat on Tianyu's back and quickly advanced. He was in a hurry to get out. There was already a problem with the spatial tunnel. If there was another problem here, it would be a big problem. Their chances of getting out would be slim. Night Sorrow and Tianyu flew in turns. Even at night, they were still rushing. They were getting closer and closer to the Medicine Valley's spatial tunnel. Night Sorrow was also getting more and more anxious. He wanted to see Aoi, Yang Lei, and Sikong Chiyu. He wanted to see Wu Lingfei, who was worried about him. After rushing for another half a month, Night Sorrow arrived near the spatial tunnel. This time, Night Sorrow did the same as last time. He hid in the space-time pagoda and approached the spatial tunnel. There are no changes here. As long as this spatial tunnel leads to the 9 regions world, there shouldn't be any problems. The strongest nether beast is only a level 6 supremacy. Little Sky informed Night Sorrow. With Night Sorrow's explanation, Little Sky knew how to distinguish the nether beast's cultivation. There shouldn't be any problems. Whatever, we'll just charge in. The strongest nether beast here was a level 7 supremacy. Night Sorrow wasn't too worried about his safety. His soul power urged the space-time pagoda to fly quickly. When the nether beast felt that something was wrong, Night Sorrow had already arrived at the spatial tunnel. Night Sorrow activated his spatial energy shield and flashed out of the space-time pagoda. He rushed towards the spatial tunnel. The mutated spatial energy shield cut through the tunnel's energy, and the nether beast's attacks all landed behind Night Sorrow. It was dark inside the spatial tunnel, but Night Sorrow did not care about that. He just charged forward because the nether beast's energy bombardment was behind him. If he was slow, he would be bombarded. In 2 breaths of time, Night Sorrow rushed out of the spatial tunnel. Then he controlled the protective energy shield to cut left and right. He was worried that he would be attacked after leaving the spatial tunnel, because he could not be 100% sure that this was the 9-domain world. The moment Night Sorrow charged out, Wu Lingfei moved. Her left arm pulled Night Sorrow to her side, and she waved her right hand to kill all the nether beasts. At this moment, the nether beasts that rushed out were all below the supremacy realm. How could they withstand Wu Lingfei's palm? Night Sorrow. Wu Lingfei reached out and grabbed Night Sorrow's arm. Auntie Fei, I'm back. Fortunately, this is really the Medicine Valley's tunnel. Otherwise, I would really be finished. Night Sorrow heaved a sigh of relief. Night Sorrow. Sikong Chiyu's eyes were filled with tears as he walked to Night Sorrow's side. Yang Lei and Aoi also came over. Their eyes were filled with tears. They had been under too much pressure these days. Night Sorrow stretched out his arms and hugged them one by one. It's okay. It's not that easy to kill me. I'm back safely. Everything went well. Then, Night Sorrow greeted Hua Yinping and Yu Yangyu. Seeing Night Sorrow return, the two were very happy. Night Sorrow was the Medicine Valley's signature. As long as Night Sorrow didn't fall, the Medicine Valley wouldn't fall. Then, Wu Lingfei set up a ceiling formation here. Without any nether beasts above the supremacy realm attacking, the ceiling formation wasn't difficult to set up. After setting up this place, the group returned to the bamboo forest peak. Sikong Chiyu was in a good mood and made tea for everyone. Night Sorrow, you really scared Auntie Fei this time. You seem to be in good condition. You can break through to the supremacy realm at any time. Wu Lingfei sized up Night Sorrow and said, Yes, I could have broken through a while ago, but I was worried about the restrictions of the spatial tunnel, so I didn't. Since I'm back, I won't think about this problem. I'll go into seclusion to break through later, Night Sorrow said. Then, Night Sorrow told everyone about the situation he encountered in Taichuan. It seems that the situation is very serious. Rest for a few days, then we'll go to the Qingtian region and tell them about the situation, Wu Lingfei said. Then, Hua Yinpeng and Yu Yangyu left. Night Sorrow chatted with the girls and told them what he saw. It seems that the Taichuan ancient battlefield has taken shape and has its own origin. The spatial origin bead ran away because it doesn't recognize you and is afraid that you will hurt it, Wu Lingfei said. Then, Night Sorrow gave the water attribute crystal he dug up to Sikong Chiyu, the wind attribute crystal to Aoi, and the thunder attribute crystal to Yang Lei. He only dug up a few thunder attribute crystals, but Yang Lei was very happy. In fact, she was very satisfied with Night Sorrow's return. The latest Y chapter U_section D upper RP, Aunt Fei. This is the life crystal I dug up. Night Sorrow took out the life crystal and placed it in front of Wu Lingfei. I used to need this, but I don't need it anymore. Keep it, Wu Lingfei said with a smile. She was really happy because Night Sorrow treated her sincerely. He didn't hide anything from her at all. Why doesn't Aunt Fei need it anymore? Night Sorrow asked, puzzled. Then, Wu Lingfei told him about the Dongxian origin bead she had obtained. It was the life origin bead, so it could absorb the spiritual qi of heaven and earth and convert it into life energy. It could be said that Wu Lingfei's cultivation would be faster than before. That's great. Night Sorrow was happy for Wu Lingfei from the bottom of his heart. Also, if you have time, go to the sea area east of the Far East Icefield. Long Xianxing should be the one who gave you the mystical tortoise crystal back then, Wu Lingfei said to Night Sorrow. So that's how it is. In that case, I still owe him a favor. Night Sorrow was a little emotional. He couldn't imagine that the huge dragon tortoise back then was actually a saint, and an amazing one at that. It was an expert that even Xiaolonjun and Silver Sunset Saint had to bow to. Wu Lingfei didn't need it, so Night Sorrow put away the life origin bead. Then he took out the spirit jade pillar he had obtained and waved the reincarnation spear, cutting off 2 feet thick jade pillars for everyone. Everyone take this. It should be good to meditate and cultivate on it. A jade pillar with life energy of more than 100 feet. Night Sorrow, your ability is really amazing. Wu Lingfei was also impressed by Night Sorrow. After chatting for a while, Wu Lingfei went to Dongxian City. She had to arrange some things and give Night Sorrow and the other 3 some space. Night Sorrow and the other 3 made tea and chatted. 13. You've gained a lot this time. Not only did you get a lot of resources, you also bought time for Night Moon Empire to rest and recuperate, Yang Lei said. So it's like this. Danger is accompanied by opportunity. As long as Night Moon is given time, then Night Moon will definitely rise. Night Sorrow was also very gratified. Chapter 679. Genius 1 second. Remember love/go/little? We provide you with interesting novels to read. After staying at Taishan Peak for 2 days, Night Sorrow and Senior Brother had a few drinks and planned to leave. He still had to report the results of the investigation to Xiaolonjun and the others. When Night Sorrow and the others were about to leave, Gong Xian and the others did not force them to stay despite their reluctance. They all knew that Night Sorrow had a lot of things to do. Before leaving, Night Sorrow went to Danding Cliff again to talk to the 8-dragon cauldron. Then he took the 3 girls to the teleportation array and left Medicine Valley. When they arrived at Danding City, Night Sorrow did not go to see Father Gu. Now that Father Gu was in good condition, he was not worried. Then, Night Sorrow went to the mansion in Dongxian City and went to see Wu Lingfei at the observation tower. Wu Lingfei said to Night Sorrow, "You're back. Let's go to Dongxiang City to take a look. Also, tell them the results of the investigation. Then this matter will be resolved." "Okay, we can set off now," Night Sorrow said. At the same time, he looked at Ma Shizhuang and the other 2 who were running over from the martial arts field. 13th uncle, take us with you," Ma Shizhuang shouted. These days had been torture for them. They were all worried about Night Sorrow. "Okay, let's go together." Night Sorrow nodded. There was no danger now, so Night Sorrow would not reject them. Love Gobe Little, say W. They took the teleportation array and teleported directly to Dongxiang City. Sikong Chiyu pointed at it and not far away and said, "You guys don't have to follow us. It won't do you any good if people recognize you as members of the God-slaying team. Chiyu, you guys wait here for a while. We'll be back soon." Sikong Chiyu and the others nodded. They knew that Wu Lingfei had made this arrangement to protect them. After watching them enter the inn, Wu Lingfei brought Night Sorrow to the spatial turbulence outside Yuexiang City. At this time, In front of the spatial turbulence, most of the people had already retreated, but the saints were still there. Seeing Wu Lingfei and Night Sorrow, the group of people were very surprised. They were surprised that Night Sorrow would appear here. Night Sorrow, you're out. I'm glad you're okay. Xie Lanjun was very excited. Thank you for your concern, Senior. I'm out. Night Sorrow nodded with a smile. Did you come out very early and never come over? A black-robed elder looked at Night Sorrow and asked. He was a saint from the Western Nether region, and was not very interested in Night Sorrow. Haha, Saint. I can't be bothered to explain. Senior Xie, Senior True Sea Saint. I've checked all the places near the spatial barrier, and found 4 spatial tunnels. Night Sorrow didn't care about what others thought. It was fine as long as he did it. 4 spatial tunnels? Xie Lanjun frowned. The Taichuan primordial battlefield covers a huge area. I spent 7 months probing the spatial barrier, and found 4 spatial passageways and 4 spatial crystals. This one is inside the spatial turbulence in front of us. This one is inside the Medicine Valley spatial passageway, and the other 2 are unknown spatial passageways. After saying that, Night Sorrow took out 4 memory crystal balls. Beautiful. Well done. Xie Lanjun took the 4 memory crystal balls and said excitedly, There's one more thing I have to make clear. When I was recording in the spatial turbulence, there was no saint. When I came out the second time, there was already a saint. At that time, recording was no different from suicide. I couldn't do it, Night Sorrow said to Xie Lanjun. Very good. You've done very well. True Sea Saint nodded. Night Sorrow, I want to ask, is there no way to resolve the hatred between you and Jiyu's family? Silver Sunset Saint looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Resolve? How can I resolve it? Their venerable has attacked me, a void inquiry stage cultivator, several times. If I don't resolve it, I'm not a man. However, since Silver Sunset Saint has spoken, it's fine if I want to resolve it. They have a venerable with the time attribute, Jiyu Hao. Some time ago, he brought another venerable with him and tried to kill me. If he commits suicide, I'll let bygones be bygones. Night Sorrow said. Silver Sunset shook her head and stopped talking. Venerables with the time attribute were too rare. Jiyu's family would not be willing to accept them. As a saint of the Qingtian region, she was not willing to accept them either. The venerables of Jiyu's family attacked you? Xie Lanjuan's face turned cold. Some time ago, a friend and I were chased by 2 venerables of Jiyu's family from Dragontail City to Night Moon City. Although we were injured, we didn't lose our lives. Night Sorrow nodded. Wuji Saint, let's not make a big fuss over the matters of the younger generation. Seeing Xie Lanjuan's unpleasant expression, Silver Sunset Saint quickly said, Senior, there are some things that I can resolve on my own. Night Sorrow glanced at Silver Sunset Saint and said, he did not want to put Xie Lanjun in a difficult position. I'm a member of Tianji Tower. Night Sorrow is a member of Tianji Tower. You all know that. It's just that none of us have said it out loud. If such shameless high-level cultivators appear again and attack the core members of Tianji Tower, don't say that I'm not being considerate. Xie Lanjun glanced at the few saints around her and said. Next, everyone looked at the crystal ball while Night Sorrow explained the situation at that time. When they saw the spatial passage where the nether beasts kept gushing out, everyone's expression changed because the situation was very dangerous. The Supreme River space is a battlefield, but it doesn't repel the nether beasts. Why does it repel us? True Ocean Saint said gloomily. The Supreme River space has been formed and has the space origin. It's of the death attribute, so it doesn't repel the nether beasts of the same attribute, Night Sorrow said. How can you be sure? Xie Lanjun asked. I saw the space origin bead, but it repelled me and flew away. I can't catch up with it with my cultivation. Night Sorrow explained the situation. That's because you don't have enough opportunities and can only miss it. If a cultivator of the death attribute went in and refined it, the problem would be solved directly. The saint from the Western Nether region said. Facing such contempt, Night Sorrow did not want to explain or refute. He knew whether he had enough opportunities or not. With the Void Fate Jewel in his possession, would Yishang care about other essences? Xie Lanjun glanced at the saint from the western nether region, and did not say anything. Wu Lingfei also felt it was funny and did not explain because she knew Night Sorrow's situation the best. Everyone was analyzing the situation, and Night Sorrow stood to the side. He was not interested in this situation and had nothing to do with it. East Starter too. The saints analyzed it and felt that it was very dangerous, so they could not solve it. The Supreme River Space had the same attribute as the Nether Beasts, so the Supreme River Space was the Nether Beast's backyard. The 9 regions world could only passively defend. A moment later, Wu Lingfei came to Night Sorrow's side. What does everyone think? Night Sorrow asked. Chapter 680. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? It provides you with wonderful novels to read. Night Sorrow thought for a moment and said, "We have so many saints. It won't be dangerous." The Netherworld is a very ancient world. The Nether Beasts produced there are also Death Elemental. High-level elemental combat power is strong. This is very difficult to solve, Wu Lingfei said. That's true. Those Nether Beasts are indeed strong, but if the sky collapses, those saints will be there. It won't have much to do with me, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Yes, you've done what you should and shouldn't do. That's enough. Wu Lingfei nodded. Then Auntie Fei, are we going back? Night Sorrow asked. I can't go with you for the time being. After all, the saints are here. It's not appropriate for me to leave, Wu Lingfei said. In the end, Wu Lingfei asked Night Sorrow to return to the city in the sky and wait for her. She also told Night Sorrow to leave the Phantom Stone clone with her for a while. She would help Night Sorrow use the life force to nourish it. In the future, Night Sorrow's clone would have more life force and be stronger. After chatting with Wu Lingfei for a while, Night Sorrow left. There was nothing for him to do here. Xikong Chuyu and the others were still waiting for him. After flying back to Dongxiang City and calling for Xikong Chuyu and the others at the inn, Night Sorrow led everyone to take the teleportation array and left. Baidu search Love Go Xiao Shua www.aichux.com. After arriving at Taiching City, Night Sorrow first went to Tianji Tower to teleport to the base of Tianji Tower, then to the mansion, and then to the city in the sky. Greetings, young master. I'll inform the Lord now. Yi Linglan was very excited. He directly went to the teleportation array and rushed to Night Moon City. Does it have to be so complicated to teleport 2 more times? Yuan Shizhuang muttered. Night Sorrow glanced at Ma Shizhuang and said, Caution is the parent of safety. It's best if we don't expose ourselves. Why bother looking for trouble? Brat, don't be fooled by the fact that you're about the same age as your 13th martial uncle. Let's not talk about battle prowess, just your experience in Jianghu is too lacking. If you can avoid any mistakes, try to avoid them. Don't you understand such simple common sense? Yang Lei waved her hand and slapped the back of Yuan Shizhuang's head. 9th martial ant, you're too rude, Ma Shizhuang muttered as he rubbed the back of his head. So what? As long as your 13th martial uncle likes me, I don't care what others think. Yang Lei glanced at Ma Shizhuang and said. Ma Shizhuang sighed. That was the truth. It didn't matter how violent Yang Lei was because she was already engaged to Night Sorrow. She didn't need to change herself. Seeing that Night Sorrow had returned, the members of the God-slaying squad were very happy. During this period of time, they had lost their backbone. Seeing that Night Sorrow had returned, they felt at ease. Liyue, arrange a table of delicious food. Let's have a good gathering tonight. Night Sorrow nodded at Nan Liyue. Don't leave me behind next time. I'm already a supremacy. I have the ability to conquer the world with you. Yin Huang came over and punched Night Sorrow's chest. He had broken through to the supremacy realm some time ago. This is a special situation. It's not that I didn't want to bring you guys along. It's just that I had no choice. Night Sorrow said. He didn't want everyone to take the risk. There was no way to fight in the Taichuan battlefield. There were all high-level nether beasts. If the God-slaying squad didn't go in as a supremacy, they would be looking for trouble and destruction. Nan Liyue called for everyone to help prepare the food and wine. Xue Ling rode the silver-winged eagle out and caught a white bear to roast. While everyone was busy, Yi Lingxie came over. When he saw Night Sorrow, He patted his shoulder heavily twice. It's good that you're back. Otherwise, sixth uncle wouldn't be able to live on. Sixth uncle, you're being too serious. By the way, this is the king battle armor. I've already washed it. Knight Sorrow took out the battle armor that he had washed and folded in the bamboo forest. This will be your battle armor from now on. You're also about to break through to the supremacy realm. When the time comes, I'll apply for a title for you. Seeing that Knight Sorrow's cultivation base had advanced to the peak void inquiry stage, Yilingxia was very happy. He then pushed the battle armor back to Knight Sorrow. Sixth uncle, did everything go smoothly? Knight Sorrow asked. The construction went very smoothly. Those dynasties didn't look for trouble anymore. However, we can only build the cities near Night Moon City. Some of the cities are still occupied by the few great dynasties, Yilingxia said. Don't worry. They've all retreated. In the future, it won't be easy for us to attack them even if we want to. Let them stand and we'll slowly deal with them. Knight Sorrow said coldly. After that, Yilingxia told Knight Sorrow that some time ago when Knight Sorrow was massacring the great dynasties, they had retreated from some of the regions. Now those regions were already under Night Moon's banner. The great dynasties would not dare to snatch those regions back. That's good. Build as many regions as you can. I wonder how long it will take for the people of my clan to come out. Will that be enough time? Knight Sorrow muttered softly. It's enough. There won't be any problems at all, Yilingxia said with certainty. Then let's rebuild the teleportation formation later tonight. Knight Sorrow felt that since it was safe, he could use the large-scale teleportation formation that Wu Lingfei gave him. After that, Yilingxia took out a map and circled the cities that belonged to Night Moon City and needed to be built with Knight Sorrow. Of course, when the two of them saw Yuexiang City, Knight Sorrow straightened his back. Sixth uncle, I don't care about Yuexiang City's matters. Yilingxia smiled and told him what happened a while ago. He also told him about his attitude. At the same time, he suggested that Knight Sorrow issue a young master's order to expel Yuexiang City from Night Moon's dynasty. Knight Sorrow shook his head and did not follow Yilingxia's suggestion. He felt that Yuexiang City's matters should wait until the Night Clan members returned. Those people were the ancestors and the people who made decisions for Night Moon. While Knight Sorrow and Yilingxia were chatting, Nanli Yue and the others had already prepared the dishes. The roasted bear meat was also placed on the table. Everyone was very happy. Knight Sorrow also drank to his heart's content. He did not refuse anyone who wanted to drink with him. In the evening, Knight Sorrow felt a little dizzy. Many people even collapsed and ran under the table. Aoi and the other two girls helped Knight Sorrow back to the mansion. Then, they let Knight Sorrow rest while the three girls chatted in the courtyard. Sigh. Although 13 didn't say it, he was under a lot of pressure. It's too difficult to venture into an unfamiliar world alone and face danger alone, Aoi said with a sigh. If a person can't withstand the pressure in an unfamiliar world, it's easy to break down. However, all of this is in the past. Night Moon is stable, so the pressure in 13's heart lessened a lot, Yang Lei said as she looked at Night Sorrow's bedroom. But this matter is not over yet. Night Sorrow has investigated clearly, but how to solve this problem is still a problem. I hope that Night Sorrow will not continue to take lightning strikes. Sikong Chiyu was still worried. After cultivating for a night, Night Sorrow woke up and began to cultivate his spear skills. Aoi brought Night Sorrow a face wash. Yang Lei and Sikong Chiyu also prepared breakfast. V version 2 initial H release /. Chapter 681. Genius 1 second remember love/go/little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Don't be in a hurry to enter the sovereign realm. Consolidate as much as you can. That way your foundation will be good. Many people find that their foundation is unstable after their cultivation increases, but they can't make up for it, Aoi said to Night Sorrow. I'm not in a hurry. I'll take it slow. There's nothing much to do next anyway, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Right now Yishang was really relaxed because he had already resolved some of his worries. Eastern Xian region was stable. The other realms could no longer suppress Eastern Xian region. Even if a spatial tunnel appeared, both sides were equal. If the saints of Eastern Xian region couldn't enter, the experts of the other realms couldn't enter either. Also, there was the matter of Night Moon Dynasty. Now that there was a saint guaranteeing it, the other dynasties couldn't act rashly. If they angered a saint, they would be destroyed. Then Yi Shang and the three girls set the boat into the lake and drifted freely in the lake. 13. Let's have a child? Young Lei looked at Night Sorrow and asked. There's no hurry. Didn't they say that the parents' achievements will affect the child's future? Then let's wait until my cultivation increases a little. This is like laying a foundation for our future generations, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Yes, what's the hurry? Besides, we're not married yet. love/go/little-say-web/w. AI2x. Calm, Sikong Chiyu said. Aoi just smiled at them and didn't say anything. J number 7 forever and 4 forever % free, KFC little/say*. While Yi Shang and the others were having fun, Yi Lingxia contacted the clan again and relayed the news of Yi Shang's safe return, reassuring everyone. After playing in the lake for 3 days, Night Sorrow and the others returned to Sky City. The girls had to cultivate with the team, and Night Sorrow also had some things to do. Since he was sure that Night Moon Dynasty would be stable for the next 100 years, Night Sorrow planned to set up the teleportation formation. This way, Night Moon could develop faster. Night Sorrow had a lot of teleportation crystals now, so it wouldn't be a problem to set up a few more teleportation formations. After saying goodbye to everyone, Night Sorrow left Sky City and went to Night Moon City. Night Moon City was already a prosperous scene. The people of Night Moon had enthusiastic smiles because they knew that Night Moon could settle down. In 100 years, Night Moon would have a big change, and the people of the Night Clan who left would also return. Seeing Night Sorrow, all the people of Night Moon bowed to greet him. They all recognized him as their young master, and knew that the stability of Night Moon was brought by him. Night Sorrow went to Night Moon Sky and lit an incense stick in front of the monument. The incense here was very strong, and there were people of Night Moon standing guard here. The news of Night Sorrow's return quickly spread. Many people came to greet the young master, and Yi Lingxia also came. Haha. The family is very happy to know that you have returned safely, Yi Lingxia said with a laugh. It's nothing. Later, I will set up our Night Moon's teleportation formation, and let the city recover faster. Love go little say, Chu Night Sorrow said to Yi Lingxia. Then Yi Lingxia brought Night Sorrow to his mansion. It was the mansion he had lived in before Night Moon's decline. The two made tea and chatted for a while. Night Sorrow said that he was here to set up a teleportation formation. There is another problem. Just the main city's teleportation formation is not enough. We don't have any teleportation crystals. Let's set up a subsidiary teleportation formation, Yi Lingxia said. Sixth uncle, don't worry about this. I have been fighting with the other dynasties and gained a lot. At the very least, I have teleportation crystals, Night Sorrow said with a smile. After hearing Night Sorrow's words, Yi Lingxia sighed. This was because Night Sorrow had single-handedly changed Night Moon's situation. Riding on Tianyu, Night Sorrow and Yi Lingxia began to set up a teleportation formation on Night Moon's current territory. A month later, Night Sorrow and Yi Lingxia returned to Night Moon City. When Night Sorrow replaced the Night Moon City's teleportation crystal with the main teleportation crystal, Night Moon City was connected to the other major cities. That's great. However, we have to send someone to guard this place. Don't let it be damaged. Yi Lingxia was very excited. Night Sorrow nodded and set up some formations inside and outside the teleportation hall. Sixth uncle, here are some pills and spirit stones. You can use them as you see fit. Night Sorrow took out a storage ring and handed it to Yi Lingxia. Yi Lingxia nodded and accepted it. He didn't want to be polite with Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow waved at Yi Lingxia and took the teleportation formation back to Sky City. Seeing Night Sorrow return, the members of the God-slaying team were very happy. Ma Shizhuang brought over another vine. After sparring with everyone for a while, Night Sorrow left. He also wanted to strengthen his combat strength. Yin Huang felt helpless as he touched the bloodstains on his back. So what if you're a venerable? You'll still be beaten up if you go up against the captain. Just accept your fate. Ling Long said. Actually, when I became a venerable, My battle with the captain was still the same. The venerable binding is useless against him. I'm not as fast as him. You don't have to gloat. It'll be the same if you become a venerable. Yun Huang said as he glanced at Ling Long. My realm isn't high enough. It's useless even if my cultivation is high enough. Besides, the captain's cultivation and realm have both reached the critical point. He can become a venerable at any time. We'll just continue to be beaten up. Ling Long said as she glanced in the direction of the lake. At this moment, Night Sorrow was very excited. Just as he was playing with Tianyu and Silver Fox suddenly stopped moving. It should be said that she had entered a state of breakthrough. Night Sorrow let Tianyu be on guard while he went to the wooden boat to meditate and cultivate. At night, when Aoi and the other two girls came over, they were very surprised to see this situation. Then they put the food in the mansion on the wooden boat. Silver Fox's breakthrough was relatively slow. There was only movement on the third day, but it was very big. The energy kept rolling. As the energy vibrated violently, Silver Fox's body changed. She turned into a 13 or 14-year-old girl wearing a white robe. She lay on the cobblestones by the lake. Silver Fox is a little weak after forcefully transforming. However, this is very heaven-defying. She'll probably need to rest for a few days. Sikong Chiyu took out a long robe and wrapped it around Silver Fox. He placed her in the small boat and covered her with the robe. Why did Silver Fox make such a choice? Night Sorrow was a little puzzled. Generally speaking, demonic beasts could only transform when they were in the Great Heaven Realm, which was the Venerable Realm. It was easy to have disadvantages when transforming at level 5. At most, it would be half a transformation. However, Night Sorrow noticed that Silver Fox had completely transformed. I don't know. However, she has indeed completely transformed now. Although she's a little weak, she succeeded. This is a good thing, Sikong Chiyu said. In terms of cultivation and combat strength, the girls were far inferior to Night Sorrow. However, in terms of insight and common sense, Night Sorrow could not be compared to the girls. Chapter 682. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go/Little? We provide you with interesting novels to read. 2 days later, Silver Fox woke up. Other than the robe that Sikong Chiyu gave her, she was also wearing a snow-white robe. Brother, are you Night Sorrow's brother? Silver Fox greeted excitedly when she saw Night Sorrow. Yes, I am. I can't call you Silver Fox anymore. Give yourself a name. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Seeing that Silver Fox was fine, Night Sorrow was very happy. I don't know. Why don't you give me a name? Silver Fox went to Night Sorrow's side and pulled Night Sorrow's arm. Night Sorrow looked at Silver Fox and nodded after thinking for a while. Then follow my surname. You are extremely beautiful now. When you grow up, you will definitely be charming. Let's call you Yimei. Hee, that's a nice name. I'll be Yimei from now on. Silver Fox shook Night Sorrow's arm and said. Then, Yimei greeted Sikong Chiyu and the rest. She was very obedient and sensible. X knew I most. Fast on L. After greeting Night Sorrow and the rest, Yimei went to look for Tianyu. She had a very good relationship with Tianyu. I'll leave her in your care from now on. She's still young, Night Sorrow said. Then Night Sorrow began to practice his movement and spear techniques to improve his combat ability. At night, the group returned to the mansion. After Aoi arranged a room for Yimei, everyone sat together for dinner. Yimei, why did you choose to transform in advance? It's very dangerous. Night Sorrow looked at Yimei and said. I'm taking a risk because it's equivalent to entering the spiritual state of all things in advance. The human form is good for activating the bloodline and potential, Yimei said. Night Sorrow nodded. All right. You know everyone here. You will follow me from now on. Brother, you have to bring me along if there's a battle, Yimei said. Then let's talk about it after your battle strength has increased. Night Sorrow shook his head. He would not bring the early Tier 5 Silver Fox out to battle. It would be very dangerous. A Tier 5 Silver Fox would not be of much help to him. After dinner, Aoi left with Yimei. Yimei had just become a human, so she needed Aoi to teach her a lot of things. Night Sorrow, Yang Lei, and Sikong Chiyu entered the main building. They hadn't been together for a long time. When he saw the two girls, Night Sorrow couldn't control himself. The three of them tossed and turned for the better part of the night, before lying down to rest. Love go little say, ko Night Sorrow, when do you plan to break through to the Venerable One realm? Young Lei looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Recently, I guess. My cultivation is enough, and there's no problem with my realm. However, I feel that my emotions are unstable. I plan to stabilize myself before breaking through. Night Sorrow said. If it was in the past, Night Sorrow would definitely not wait. He would choose to break through as soon as his cultivation reached the required level. However, Night Sorrow was not in a hurry now. As for his opponent, Night Sorrow was not worried about Night Sorrow. Ji Yuhao was a big threat to others because the time attribute was a high-level attribute. It had a strong suppression. However, this suppression did not exist on Night Sorrow. In the morning, Night Sorrow cultivated his spear skills for a while. After breakfast, the group went to the training field. The members of the god-slaying team were shocked when they saw Yi Mei. They did not know where this little beauty came from. Yi Mei was indeed beautiful. Her body was graceful, and her facial features were perfect. She wore a smile that could topple cities. Let me formally introduce you. This is my sister Yi Mei, Night Sorrow said as he brought Yi Mei to his side. Night Sorrow, you have a sister in the Night Moon Sea, right? Ling Long asked. She knew about Night Sorrow's situation. My parents gave me a sister. This is not my sister. She is Silver Fox. She has entered the 5th stage and has transformed. She will start cultivating with everyone today. Take care of her normally, but during training, just do what you need to do. Night Sorrow said to the group. After that, the god-slaying team started their training. Yi Mei also joined the training. After watching for a while, Night Sorrow was shocked. Yi Mei's speed was too fast. Her body moved so fast that it was full of afterimages. The soft sword in her hand was also very powerful. Sometimes it could even transform into 2 or 3. Night Sorrow knew that it was the tail of Yi Mei's original body. Now it had turned into a weapon. After watching for a while, Night Sorrow discovered that Yi Mei could rely on her speed to fight with the other team members. Night Sorrow nodded in satisfaction. He was relieved. In the future, Yi Mei could cultivate with everyone and keep up with the pace. With nothing else to do, Night Sorrow strolled around Sky City and observed the situation in the city. Half a year had passed, and Sky City had changed a lot. The original scenery had not been destroyed, and a small city had quietly appeared. In order not to affect Night Sorrow's living environment, Yi Linglan did not make any changes to Night Sorrow's residence except for the green stone path. Young master, are you free today? Yi Linglan walked over while Night Sorrow was observing the environment. They are all cultivating. I plan to relax and walk around. This Sky City is done well. In the future you will be the city lord, Night Sorrow said. Since young master has given the order, I will definitely do it well, Yi Linglan said with a bow. You watch Sky City's construction. In terms of feelings, most people are not as deep as you. You are very suitable to manage it. However, Night Moon Dynasty has a lot of things to do, so you will have to worry about many things, Night Sorrow said. Young master, you don't know that some of the members of Night Moon who lived in seclusion have returned after receiving news of Night Moon's redevelopment. 2 sovereigns have returned as well. Therefore, Evil King Ling has arranged for me to be in charge of Sky City. Others will take care of everything else, Yi Linglan said. Is that so? That's a good thing. Also, my residence needs to be expanded and built a few more pavilions. My Aunt Fei is the region lord of Eastern Xian region. She often stays here, Night Sorrow said to Yi Linglan drunkenly. At this time, Wu Lingfei was in the tent in front of the spatial turbulence in Dongxiang City. She was listening to a group of saints discussing how to solve Taichuan's problem. Then Silver Dusk Saint looked at Wu Lingfei and said, Region Lord Wu is of the life attribute. Can't she rely on her attribute to force her way in? If she could, then I wouldn't be so helpless while Night Sorrow was left in Taichuan, Wu Lingfei said as she looked at Silver Dusk Saint. Can you ask Long Xianxing to come out and think of a solution? A saint from Western Nether region asked. I can't care about Long Xuanxing's matters. If you want to ask him to come out, then go ahead. Wu Lingfei said casually. Us. Back then, Long Xianxing said that unrelated saints would be killed if they dared to enter Eastern Xian region. We can't touch this bad luck, Qin Yuan muttered. Long Xianxing knows about this matter. If he wants to interfere, he will appear. If he doesn't want to interfere, then it's useless to invite him. This seat is just a new sage, and there's not much I can do. Once you guys have a result, just inform me. Nodding to Xie Lanjun, Wu Lingfei exited the tent and left. Chapter 683. Genius 1 Second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Qingtian region has attacked Eastern Profound region twice. How can they be happy? Xie Lanjun glanced at Yinxi and said, Love go little say W. To Yinxi did not say anything. She was in the wrong in this matter. In fact, saints were not allowed to interfere in the region wars. However, she could influence the Qingtian region when it started. However, she wanted to see the Qingtian region become stronger. So she allowed them to invade everywhere. The Sanyuan region and Taiwei region had been attacked by the Qingtian region because they were selfishly sacrificed. In the end, the discussion did not reach a conclusion. In other words, they could not solve the problem fundamentally at the moment. Taichuan's spatial nature could not be restrained. The only thing Xie Lanjun and the others could do was strengthen the seal. Chen Yuan, I promised Night Sorrow about the Taiqing region. Therefore you should know what to do. Don't regret it when the time comes. Otherwise, it will be too late. Xie Lanjun glanced at Chen Yuan and left. She was giving him a warning. The other saints left one after another. However, Yinxi Saint, Chen Yuan and the Saint of the Western Nether region did not leave. The three of them were still sitting in the tent. Shi Taizong, what do you think of the current situation? Yinxi poured herself a cup of tea and asked. The seal here has been strengthened, so it is stable. Now we need to consider how to suppress Tianji Tower. If this continues, the 9 regions world will belong to Tianji Tower, the Saint of the Western Nether region, Shi Taizong said. But who can suppress Xie Lanjun now? If no one can suppress her, then Tianji Tower's expansion will be unstoppable, Yinxi said with a frown. In the past, I annihilated the Night Moon Empire, Tianji Tower's partner in the Taiqing region. However, Night Moon has risen from the ashes again. The two of you need to think of a solution. Otherwise, this situation will be difficult to solve, Chen Yuan said. What did we say in the past? We asked you to destroy the Night Moon Empire once and for all. But you still let their main members enter the Night Moon Sea. Now we are forced to agree not to touch the Night Moon Empire. If we go back on our words, Xie Lanjun will not stop. True Ocean Saint of the North Sea region and Nangan Saint of Nanli region will stand on her side. Shi Taizong looked at Chen Yuan discontentedly. Love Gom Little Seichu. He wanted to challenge the Eastern Xian region, but he was severely injured and did not come out for 1,000 years. He did not come out when Taiwa domain fell, Shi Taizong said. He was very afraid of Long Xianxing. The Western Nether region is very stable now, and there are some small problems in the Qingtian region. The main point is that the Taiqing region must be in our hands, Yinxi Saint said. That's a good idea, but it's a little difficult. Chen Yuan was a little helpless. I'll go to the Unbounded Desolation region and see if the Black Dragon Saint is willing to join forces with us. Also, you go to the 7 Stars Empire and check if there is any news about the Greedy Wolf Saint, Yinxi said to Chen Yuan. Okay, I'll go check it out. Chen Yuan nodded. These were the only saints who had come out, but there were still some who were in hiding. They had to find a way to fight against Xie Lanjun and some others. Love Go Little Seichu. Okay, we'll meet at the old place later. Yinxi, you have the best chance of surpassing Xie Lanjun among us. You have to work hard, Shi Taizong said and left. Chen Yuan also left. Yinxi was lost in thought as she looked at the spatial turbulence. Her eyes were constantly flashing, and her hands behind her back were clenched and unclenched. Only she knew what she was thinking. Wu Lingfei went to the dark hall of Tianji Tower. She wanted to know the recent situation, but it was useless to ask Night Sorrow. In terms of information, Tianji Tower was the best in the 9 domains. When Wu Lingfei asked the elder in charge of information, Xie Lanjun returned. Master Wu Kei, what are you busy with? Xie Lanjun asked Night Sorrow. I'm looking at the recent situation of the 9 domains, mainly the Taiqing region. Night Sorrow hasn't been here for a long time, so I'm looking for him, Wu Lingfei said. They won't do anything on the surface, but they'll still do something secretly. They're very narrow-minded. Xie Lanjun sighed. What's going on? How many people are there? Isn't it just Chen Yuan? Wu Lingfei frowned. You don't understand this circle. Yin Shi, Shilia Saint Shi Taizong, and Tai Yuan Saint Chen Yuan are all in the same boat, so they won't be willing to let Night Moon rise again. However, their actions won't be too obvious. After all, there are other saints who won't let them mess around, Xie Lanjun said. So it's like this? Wu Lingfei stood up and paced back and forth thinking. Yes. Besides, they won't tolerate being suppressed by me. Yin Shi's combat power is very strong, and this is an unstable factor. Fortunately, you Lord Kei, and the Chief Supervisor have all entered the Saint Realm, which has greatly reduced the pressure on me. It's mainly because of you. Your increase in cultivation is a shock to them, Xie Lanjun said with some sincerity. Is Yin Shi very strong? Wu Lingfei asked. Chapter B, Section QG, of the GJ edition 2-2-inch very strong. You'll know soon enough. There are also some hidden saints. If they try to rope them in, it'll be a big problem. Let nature take its course. If they go too far, I'll directly take action. If they want to fight, then so be it. I don't care so much. If the problem is really serious, then the people of Tianji Tower will retreat to the second base of the Eastern Profound Domain. Then they can only watch, Xie Lanjun said. Okay, if they dare to attack, then we'll fight them to the death. Wu Lingfei was not afraid of fighting at all. It's not like that. Saints don't dare to enter the Eastern Profound Domain. The saints of Tianji Tower are an exception. If other saints dare to enter the Eastern Profound Domain, they will be killed. Long Xianxing doesn't care about worldly affairs, but there is a bottom line, which is that saints are not allowed to enter the Eastern Profound Domain. No saint dares to ignore this. Xie Lanjun explained to Wu Lingfei. Long Xianxing is so strong? Wu Lingfei knew that Long Xianxing was not simple because Xie Lanjun and Yin Shi had to bow to him, but she didn't expect him to be so powerful. This is not an exaggeration. Back then, 3rd Yuan Saint of Sanyuan Domain did not agree with Long Xuanqing's rules and died in the Eastern Profound Domain. In addition, Tai Yuan Saint of Taiyue Domain was also seriously injured by Long Xianxing. In the end, his whereabouts were unknown. Think about it, 3rd Yuan Saint and Tai Yuan Saint were both old saints. They both thought that they were very strong, but they ended up in tragedy. Which other saints dare to go to the Eastern Profound Domain? If they dare to go, then they must be tired of living, Xie Lanjun said. Chapter 684. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Mistress Wu, chaos is coming. It's best to be careful. Who knows how many experts will fall in this chaotic world? Xie Lanjun sighed. Wu Lingfei nodded. She didn't expect things to be so complicated. She thought that she would be able to change the situation after entering the true Saint Realm, but it turned out that it wasn't the case. If she had known this earlier, she wouldn't have fought with Ji Yuhai in the sky above the Realm Sea. If she had fought in the Eastern Profound Domain, Long Xianxing would have appeared, and Ji Yuhai would have died. After chatting with Xie Lanjun for a while, Wu Lingfei teleported towards the Grand Clarity Domain. She wanted to visit Night Sorrow since she had nothing to do anyway. She had strengthened the seal at the eastern entrance of the spatial passageway in the eastern Xian region. No nether beast below the venerable realm would be able to break through it. When Wu Lingfei arrived at the city in the sky, Yishan was watching the others cultivate. When he saw Wu Lingfei, Yishang led her into the estate. Auntie Fei, I've asked people to build a separate pavilion beside my estate. Alright, then when Auntie Fei comes in the future, she will have her own pavilion. That's very good, Wu Lingfei said with a smile. After returning to the manor, Wu Lingfei drank tea and told Night Sorrow about the current situation. In Wu Lingfei's heart, Night Sorrow was her family, and she could talk to him about anything. Moreover, This matter also involved Night Sorrow and the Night Moon dynasty. Baidu search AI go female sign Xiao say www.ai to access. After listening to Wu Lingfei's explanation, Night Sorrow tapped the table and pondered. This situation showed that the saint's promise was not completely reliable. Once Yin Shi and the others suppressed Xie Lanjun, everything would change. But you don't have to worry too much. At least for now, things are stable. Silver Dusk Saint and the others can't act recklessly, Wu Lingfei said. Night Sorrow thought for a moment and said, I understand. No matter what, I've profited this time. Not only have I earned resources, but I've also earned a righteous cause. If they act recklessly now, they've lost the righteous cause. Besides, the current Night Moon Empire isn't worth their time. When the Night Moon Empire returns, the Night Moon Empire will have its own saint. They won't be able to do whatever they want. Yes, it's mainly a matter of time. Auntie Concubine is just reminding you that if you don't think far ahead, you will have immediate worries. It's fine as long as you know what to do, Wu Lingfei said to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow then told Wu Lingfei about Silver Fox's transformation. A fifth-order metamorphosis. That's an incredible talent, at least in terms of metamorphosis, Wu Lingfei said. The sooner he transforms, the sooner he enters the human world, the better. Night Sorrow said to Wu Lingfei. Also, this is for you. You can continue to nourish yourself. Wu Lingfei returned Night Sorrow's Phantom Stone clone to Night Sorrow. The clone is the size of a baby's body. The life force is very strong. Night Sorrow communicated with the Phantom Stone's soul power and discovered the changes within. Auntie Concubine doesn't dare use my soul power to check, but I feel that it should be good for you to inject some life force into it. So I helped you strengthen it, Wu Lingfei said to Night Sorrow. Thank you, Auntie Concubine. Night Sorrow hung the ice silk bag around his waist. What's going on there? Wu Lingfei pointed at Night Sorrow's head. There are some changes. I can control some, but it's not enough. Night Sorrow knew what Wu Lingfei was asking, but he still couldn't control the Phantom Fate Pearl. He could only control it to fly in the godly sea. Take it slow. It won't be long before you can control it, Wu Lingfei said to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow felt very relaxed as he drank tea and chatted with Wu Lingfei. If there was anything he didn't understand, he could ask and gain a lot of knowledge. Original first release. Asterisk at night, Yang Lei, Sikong Chiyu. Aoi brought Yimei and Night Sorrow to eat dinner with Wu Lingfei. Yimei, what a good name. How about this? You've been with Auntie Concubine for a while. Auntie Concubine has some experience. Wu Lingfei looked at Yimei and asked. Yimei nodded. She was familiar with Wu Lingfei. She felt that although Wu Lingfei looked cold, she could give her a warm feeling. After handing Yimei to Wu Lingfei and sending Aoi to rest, Night Sorrow entered the secret cultivation room and started to cultivate. His true chi cultivation needed to be stabilized, but his soul power, bloodline power, and myriad Dao Tome still needed to be cultivated. After cultivating for an entire night, Night Sorrow woke up early to cultivate his spear arts. Cultivating spear arts had already become a part of Night Sorrow's life. If he didn't cultivate his spear arts for a day, Night Sorrow would feel like he was missing something. Later, follow Auntie Concubine to Tianji Tower and upgrade your reincarnation spear. Also, forge another one for him. Wu Lingfei pointed at the ice silk bag on Night Sorrow's waist and said, Okay, I need to hurry, because I can break through at any time. Right now, I just want to stabilize my cultivation. Night Sorrow said. After eating breakfast, Sikong Chuyu, Yang Lei, and Aoi were going to the martial arts field to cultivate with the other members of the god-slaying team. However, they looked at Yimei and didn't know if she would go. Cultivate with Auntie Concubine every night. Wu Lingfei nodded at Yimei. Since they had nothing to do, Night Sorrow took Wu Lingfei to Night Moon City for a walk. After knowing that Night Moon's promise was not necessarily effective, Night Sorrow regretted using the top-grade teleportation crystal. Night Sorrow even wanted to dismantle it, but Wu Lingfei stopped him. She felt that even if the saint's promise was no longer effective, it wouldn't come so quickly. Tianji Tower would receive the news in advance, and Night Sorrow's actions would come quickly. Night Sorrow took Wu Lingfei to Night Moon City for a look. Wu Lingfei also burned an incense for Night Moon's ancestors. Then, accompanied by Night Sorrow and Yi Lingxia, they went to Night Moon City. Night Sorrow, are you in a hurry to go in? If you're in a hurry, evil King Ling can lead the way, and Auntie Concubine can take you in. However, breaking the seal on Night Moon's people is the same as messing up the plan. The gains don't make up for the losses. Wu Lingfei looked at Night Sorrow and said. Night Sorrow shook his head and said, I'm not in a hurry. My parents' safety is more important than anything else. It's only a matter of time before we meet again. I can wait. That's a good attitude. Take it slow. It won't take long, Wu Lingfei said. Night Sorrow and Wu Lingfei then left Night Moon City. After taking a tour around Night Moon City, they returned to Sky City. While the two of them were drinking tea, Xie Longjun and Lin Yuandao arrived. Lin Yuandao knew that this was the transit station between Tianji Tower and Night Moon City. Xie Longjun then told him why she had come. She wanted to ask Wu Lingfei to go to the realm of unbounded desolation and meet someone through Tiger's Roar, a reclusive saint from the realm of unbounded desolation. The realm of unbounded desolation owed Wu Lingfei a favor. Therefore, Xie Longjun felt that it was more likely that she could get in touch with him through Tiger's Roar. Chapter 685. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. In other words, Hu Xiao can get in touch with a saint expert from the human camp in the realm of unbounded desolation, Wu Lingfei said. That's right, Xie Longjun said. Hu Xiao should be able to get in touch with the city lord of the realm of unbounded desolation. You helped him a lot during the Beast Tide in Grand Desolation City, so I don't think Hu Xiao will refuse to take you to meet that saint expert. That saint expert should be Hu Xiao's ancestor, the Flying Tiger Saint. Wu Lingfei nodded. All right, I'll go with you. Wu Lingfei wouldn't refuse such a request, as it was a matter of Tianji Tower. Currently, Tianji Tower was stable because of Xie Longjun's strength. If the Silver Dusk Saint and the other saint experts were too strong, it would be troublesome. Wu Lingfei was a member of Tianji Tower, but Tianji Tower and the Eastern Xian realm were closely related. It could be said that both sides had mutual interests. Aunt Fei, I'll go with you, Night Sorrow said. Xie Longjun nodded. It's good to take Night Sorrow with you. As a heaven's emissary of Tianji Tower, Night Sorrow is the pillar of Tianji Tower's future. It'll be good for him to get in touch with the outside world. She agreed with Night Sorrow's decision to go with her. In fact, Night Sorrow had his own business to take care of in the realm of unbounded desolation. He wanted to talk to Hu Xiao and see if he could expand his business in the Medicine Valley to the realm of unbounded desolation. Night Sorrow knew that the business in the Medicine Valley was doing very well. It was already on track in the Eastern Xian realm, and there were also some medicinal pill shops in the realm of Taiyue. After bidding farewell to Aoi, Yanglei, and Sikong Chiyu, and telling the members of the God-slaying squad to work hard on their cultivation, Night Sorrow and Wu Lingfei set off for the realm of unbounded desolation. Night Sorrow, do you have something else to do? Wu Lingfei asked Yishang as they took the teleportation array to her residence in Taiching City, and hurried towards the teleportation array there. I can't hide anything from Auntie Fei. I'm planning to help the Medicine Valley. If the Medicine Valley wants to develop, it can't lack resources. The Medicine Valley is good at alchemy, so I plan to rely on this technology to develop. Night Sorrow told Wu Lingfei about the current resources development of the Medicine Valley. Wu Lingfei nodded. That's a good idea. As long as the ratio of materials exchanged for pills isn't too high, no one will refuse. This way, when we see Hu Xiao, Auntie Fei will help you mention it. It was possible to teleport directly from the realm of sky-bearing to the realm of sky-bearing to the realm of sky-bearing. However, teleporting from the realm of sky-bearing to the realm of unbounded desolation required flying. Baidu search AI Go female sign Xiao say www.ai2xs. Xiaoan Wu Lingfei was a saint, so her speed was naturally extremely fast. One had to know that her original body was a flying spirit beast, the Ice Phoenix, that was good at speed. In 2 days, the two of them arrived at Great Desolation City. Wu Lingfei first brought Night Sorrow to see Qing Mang. You came at the right time. Someone just sent 2 desolate stones yesterday. Qing Meng took out 2 desolate stones when she saw the 2 of them. Then Night Sorrow took out 200 high-grade spirit stones and put away the desolate stones. Tianji Tower paid 200 high-grade spirit stones. Thank you, Subtower Master Qing Meng. I'll continue to buy desolate stones. Night Sorrow cupped his hands and said to Qing Meng, Okay, then the mission will continue. Also, Subtower Master Wu and Emissary Yi Tianji must have a reason for coming, right? Qing Meng asked. Then Wu Lingfei said that she was going to see Hu Xiao to discuss some matters. Qing Meng didn't ask anything and took the 2 of them to the City Lord Mansion to see Hu Xiao. Seeing Wu Lingfei and Night Sorrow, Hu Xiao was very enthusiastic and personally made tea to welcome them. It's like this. I'm here this time to ask for a favor. Wu Lingfei cupped her hands and said to Hu Xiao, Subtower Master Wu, please speak. As long as Hu Xiao can do it, I'll definitely do it. Hu Xiao said directly. Then Wu Lingfei told him her purpose for coming. Hu Xiao thought for a moment and said, I really don't know. I've never heard of the Flying Tiger Saint, but my family used to have a Flying Tiger Venerable. I'll go back to my family later to take a look. Okay, if you see him, please tell me that I'm sincerely visiting. Wu Lingfei cupped her hands again. It's nothing. Subtower Master Wu can stay in Great Desolation City first. I'll go back later. Hu Xiao nodded. Then Wu Lingfei brought up the matter of cultivation resources, the current development strategy of the Medicine Valley in the Eastern Xian realm, and the exchange rate of medicinal pills for materials. 1 cauldron of medicinal pills for 3 sets of materials. That's fair. I'm all for it. You don't need to trouble yourself with this. Just have Subtower Master Qing Meng bring me to the City Lord Mansion. Hu Xiao was very happy to have such a cooperation. After all, there weren't many people in Great Desolation City who were good at pill concocting. It was a win-win situation for the Medicine Valley. On the other hand, exchanging 1 cauldron of medicinal pills for 3 sets of materials was indeed fair. After all, there was a chance of failure. Besides, pill concocting required time and spirit stones to power the cauldron. After chatting for a while longer, Wu Lingfei and Night Sorrow returned to the Tianji Tower branch in the realm of unbounded desolation to wait for news. 5 days later, Hu Xiao brought an old man to Tianji Tower to meet Wu Lingfei. Standing in front of Hu Xiao, the old man clasped his hands at Wu Lingfei and said, A saint expert has come to the realm of unbounded desolation. Please excuse me for not coming out to meet you. You're being too polite, Senior Flying Tiger Saint. I'm Spirit Concubine Wu of the Heaven's Extremity Demonic Palace, and I apologize for disturbing you. She clasped her hands respectfully at the old man, who was none other than Saint Flying Tiger Saint from the realm of unbounded desolation. You're welcome. Have a seat. Last time, when we were attacked by a beast tide, I was very worried. However, I had an agreement with Black Dragon Saint, so I could only watch and not do anything. Fortunately, Master Wu Lingfei came to my rescue. The Flying Tiger Saint nodded at Wu Lingfei in a very polite manner. Wu Lingfei shook her head. We're both humans, and Tianji Tower is also developing in the realm of unbounded desolation. Therefore, it wasn't much of a help. Master Wu Lingfei, you must have a reason for coming to see me. Please tell me. The Flying Tiger Saint got straight to the point. Then Wu Lingfei introduced herself and talked about the current situation, as well as the situation of Silver Dusk Saint and the others. Chaos is coming. I have a hunch about this. I also know the Everlasting Saint's personality. She wholeheartedly cares about the Nine Realms world. The Tianjin Tower is also there to balance the Nine Realms world. In fact, it's fine for her to come. How can I not give her face? Flying Tiger Saint said with a smile. Thank you, Senior, for asking me to come here first. The main thing is that the Silver Dusk Saint and the others went to the Black Dragon Saint. We had no choice but to disturb the Flying Tiger Saint's cultivation, Wu Lingfei said. AQV is the only Z, original / version. 7Q4S him? All are unspecified currency pirated. Chapter 686. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Alright, we'll head back now. See you later in the realm of Qingtian. Also, Senior Flying Tiger Saint is always welcome to visit the Eastern Xian domain, Wu Lingfei said. Haha. Long Xuanqing's temperament is too strange. It's not worth offending him. If you have time, Master Wu Kei, please come to the Unbounded Desolation as a guest. The Flying Tiger Saint said with a laugh. All the veteran saints knew the situation in the Eastern Xian domain. The Flying Tiger Saint laughed and left the Tianji Tower. He nodded at Wu Lingfei and Night Sorrow, followed by Hu Xiao. The world is so chaotic now. Qing Meng was shocked by the conversation between Wu Lingfei and the Flying Tiger Saint. Yes, there's nothing we can do about it. When things reach an extreme, they will move in the opposite direction. If something happens in the Tianji Tower in the realm of unbounded desolation, inform the headquarters. Although it's a chaotic world, the Tianji Tower has the ability and preparations to deal with it, Wu Lingfei said to Qing Meng. After resting in the Tianji Tower for a night, Wu Lingfei and Night Sorrow left the realm of unbounded desolation and headed to the realm of Qingtian. The Flying Tiger Saint is easy to talk to, Night Sorrow said. How should I put it? Auntie Fei is here on behalf of the Tianji Tower. He should at least meet her. Besides, the Black Dragon Saint and the Silver Dusk Saint are together, which is a threat to him, Wu Lingfei said. After thinking about it for a moment, Night Sorrow understood. 2 days later, the two of them returned to the Tianji Tower in the realm of Qingtian. However, they didn't see Xie Lanjun and Lin Yuandao. Then Wu Lingfei and Night Sorrow teleported to the first base of the Tianji Tower. In the underground hall, Wu Lingfei and Night Sorrow saw Xie Lanjun and Lin Yuandao. How did it go? Xie Lanjun asked. It went well. The Flying Tiger Saint will come to the Tianji Tower in the near future, Wu Lingfei said and told Qing Meng about what had happened. Good. That's good. Since he's here, it shouldn't be a problem for us to form an alliance, Xie Lanjun said. It shouldn't be a problem. His attitude is very good, Wu Lingfei said. She was certain of this. Tower Master Wu and Night Sorrow, both of you need to be careful. The 5-clawed pterosaur that was killed in the Beast Tide last time is the descendant of the Black Dragon Sage. This matter could be troublesome. Xie Lanjun thought for a moment and said, So what? Night Sorrow was from the Night Moon Dynasty. If he touched Night Sorrow, he would be going against the Saints' Alliance. He wasn't afraid of me. Wu Lingfei sneered. That's right, Wu Lingfei sneered. That's right, Wu Lingfei sneered. Xie Lanjun nodded. Not to mention Wu Lingfei's current cultivation base, the other saints couldn't reach the high level of the attributes. Many saints could only reach the peak of the ordinary attributes in the end. In addition, Wu Lingfei had Dongshuan's origin power, which was equivalent to having Dongshuan's origin power in her body. She could increase her combat strength outside the Eastern Xian region. If she was in the Eastern Xian region, it would be even more amazing. Wu Lingfei could even control the energy of the Eastern Xian region to attack her opponent. Another point was that Wu Lingfei was approved by Long Xiansheng. If she was touched, Long Xiansheng could easily appear and the consequences would be serious. Chapter 3, New Chapter 7. Part 1. After chatting casually for a while, Wu Lingfei and Night Sorrow left the Tianji Tower base and returned to the city in the sky. The loft that Yi Linglan had sent people to build was ready. Night Sorrow led Wu Lingfei to live in it. After drinking a pot of tea in the loft and seeing that Night Sorrow was about to leave, Wu Lingfei reminded Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow, Auntie Fei is going to cultivate in seclusion. If there's anything you need, just call me. Night Sorrow left the loft and went to the training field to watch the others cultivate. Yang Lei, Sikong Chiyu, and always stopped cultivating and drank tea with Night Sorrow. They asked Night Sorrow about the situation this time. Night Sorrow told them that the realm of unbounded desolation had agreed to the Medicine Valley's business. You're way too amazing. Just by going out for a trip, you managed to solve a huge problem. If this were to continue developing, our Medicine Valley would definitely become stronger, Qing Ji said excitedly. When we return to the Medicine Valley, just tell Master and the others. We don't have to run around anymore, Night Sorrow said with a smile. After that, the three women continued to cultivate. Yi Shang held the reincarnation spear and cultivated his realm, searching for a feeling. He remembered that he should mention the matter of forging a weapon when he met Lin Yuandao this time. because his cultivation could enter the honorable realm at any time. After Yishang practiced his spear arts for a while, he beckoned Yimei over. Yimei, are you used to it? Night Sorrow asked as he poured a cup of water for Yimei. Very good. My brothers and sisters have been taking good care of me, Yimei said. Night Sorrow nodded and said, that's good. You should familiarize yourself with your new fighting style and gain some combat experience. Yin Huang and Ling Long also came over to have tea with Night Sorrow. Captain, we know what happened. With this saint's promise, we can't go out and kill now. It's too depressing. Yin Huang took a sip of tea and said, that's all we can do for now. In addition, you guys choose a time to practice combat with everyone. At the same time, clean up the high-level demonic beasts in the wasteland in Night Moon's current area, Night Sorrow said. Then, Yin Huang and Ling Long went to talk to Xueling and Ho Jian. In the God-slaying team, when Night Sorrow was not leading, the team followed Xueling and Ho Jian. Yin Huang and Ling Long also respected this rule. After the team finished cultivating, Night Sorrow brought the girls back to the mansion. After dinner, Night Sorrow looked at the girls and made a decision. He was going to cultivate in seclusion and break through to the venerable realm. Okay, you should take this step. Sikong Chiyu nodded. Then we'll wait for your good news, Yanglei said. Night Sorrow smiled at the girls and entered the secret cultivation room in the main building. When he comes out, he'll be a powerhouse. Aoi looked at Night Sorrow's secret cultivation room and said, he won't have any problems. He's already reached the realm, and his cultivation has been stable for a while. Breaking through to the venerable realm is just a matter of time. Sikong Chiyu said. She was very confident in Night Sorrow. A few years ago, the Medicine Valley was looking forward to the emergence of a venerable. That would change the situation of falling behind and getting beaten up. Now 13 is also trying to break through to the venerable realm. There are many changes in the world. Some things can't even be dreamed of. Yang Lei said with some emotion. 13 entering the venerable realm is a great shock to the Medicine Valley and the Eastern Xian region. Aoi said with a smile. It's not just the Eastern Xian region. I wonder what the other dynasties in the Grand Pure Domain will think when they hear this news. 13, who is just a Void Inquiry Stage 5th level cultivator, has already caused a huge commotion in them. It would be strange if they don't have a headache now that he has entered the venerable realm. Yang Lei's face was filled with anticipation. Chapter 687. Genius 1 second. Remember love go divided by Xiao? We provide you with interesting novels to read. Night Sorrow entered the secret cultivation room. First, he calmed down his emotions and prepared for his breakthrough. Love Go divided by Xiao Xiao Shua www.ai2x.com. There were 3 factors needed for a Void Inquiry Stage cultivator to advance to the venerable realm. The first factor was that their true Qi cultivation had to reach the critical point. The second factor was that their soul power had to be strong. The third factor was also the most difficult one. It required the cultivator to be in the state of the unity of heaven and man realm. This was also the reason why many Void Inquiry Stage cultivators could not advance to the venerable realm, even after reaching the peak of the Void Inquiry Stage. When a Void Inquiry Stage cultivator breaks through to the venerable realm, they had to integrate their soul power into their true Qi. Only by doing so could their soul power be combined with their true Qi, which was the signature move of the venerable realm. The strength of their soul power was the foundation of the integration. Their cultivation level was the key. If they could not achieve these 2 points, no matter how strong their true Qi cultivation was, they could only be a Void Inquiry Stage cultivator. After Night Sorrow calmed down his emotions, he began to organize the energy in his body. After doing so, Night Sorrow first displayed the state of the unity of heaven and man realm. Then he controlled his soul power to flow and merge it with the true Qi in his Dantian. This was the first step. It was the first step to advance to the venerable realm. After his soul power entered his Dantian, Night Sorrow controlled the rotation of the true Qi in his Dantian, driving his soul power and merging it with his true Qi. This was a crucial breakthrough. Therefore, Night Sorrow was very careful. After 6 hours, Night Sorrow's soul power and his true Qi merged perfectly. His true Qi had the effect of his soul power. After doing this, Night Sorrow began the second step, which was to compress his true chi. He would compress his misty true chi into a liquid state. When the liquid state appeared, the breakthrough would be complete. Currently, Night Sorrow's misty true chi and soul power were merging. After a long time, his soul power would separate from his true chi. However, if his true chi was upgraded from the misty state to the liquid state, it would completely stabilize the current state of fusion. After stabilizing his current state, it was similar to advancing from the spirit severing realm to the core condensation realm. However, the difficulty was not the same. After all, the quantity and quality of his true chi were different. Love Gob Xiao Said W Chu. After stabilizing his emotions, Night Sorrow controlled his Zhen Qi and compressed it towards the center of his Dantian. At this time, Night Sorrow was very careful. This was the last step, and he could not afford to make any mistakes. If he failed, then his soul would be severely damaged. Time slipped away bit by bit. Night Sorrow's side was compressing in an orderly manner. After daybreak, Sikong Chuyu and the other girls didn't go to the martial arts practice field. They waited in the courtyard in front of the mansion while making tea. Yi Lingxie came to talk to Night Sorrow about what had happened in Night Moon City. Knowing that Night Sorrow was about to break through to the venerable realm, he also waited with the girls. After half a day, the first drop of liquid true chi appeared in Night Sorrow's Dantian. It was a deep purple, sparkling and translucent true chi. With the appearance of this drop of liquid true chi, the mist-like true chi in Night Sorrow's Dantian was quickly assimilated. As long as the liquid true chi touched it, the mist-like true chi would naturally turn into liquid true chi. Right at this moment, dark clouds suddenly appeared in the clear sky, which was originally clear for 10,000 li asterisk, 500 m per li. Moreover, they were rolling dark clouds. At this moment, Wu Lingfei appeared in the courtyard. What's going on? It's Night Sorrow's breakthrough to the venerable realm. Why would tribulation clouds appear? Yi Lingxie's face was filled with worry. Whenever a heaven-defying demonic beast or cultivator appears, and the heavenly Tao doesn't tolerate it, a lightning tribulation will appear. It's also a test. However, I didn't expect that the lightning tribulation that would only appear when others enter the sage realm would appear when Night Sorrow is at the venerable realm. Wu Lingfei's face was also filled with worry. At this moment, Night Sorrow suddenly felt his heart palpitating. He released his soul power to investigate and found out what was going on. When Tianyu advanced to the void inquiry stage, a lightning tribulation also appeared. When Night Sorrow's misty true chi completely transformed into liquid true chi, which meant that Night Sorrow had completely entered the venerable realm, the black clouds in the sky churned even more violently. Any cultivator could sense the terrifying energy contained within. Night Sorrow exited the cultivation room and left the mansion. He rushed towards the lake. He couldn't let the lightning tribulation destroy the mansion. Yes MB, #Forever3 exempt. Read novels. Night Sorrow arrived at the lakeside. Just as he steadied himself, an explosion came from the rolling dark clouds. Then a purple lightning bolt struck towards Night Sorrow's head. Night Sorrow took a deep breath, and the reincarnation spear on his back appeared in his hand with a shake. He then displayed the 7 stars dazzling moon spear art. He displayed the 7 stars dazzling moon spear art, displaying the dazzling moon spear art. The spear light collided with the thunder and lightning. Along with a loud explosion, Night Sorrow's body was pushed into the ground, and the robe on his right arm turned into black shreds. The tip of the reincarnation spear didn't change, but a few cracks appeared on the handle. This was the effect of being unable to withstand the lightning tribulation's energy and Night Sorrow's energy. After all, it was a rank 5 weapon, but Night Sorrow displayed the venerable realm's true chi. Night Sorrow sighed and shook the shredded robe on his right arm. He jumped out of the pit and scanned the reincarnation spear at the same time. He knew that the reincarnation spear couldn't be used anymore. If he used it again, it would shatter. He still had to advance the reincarnation spear. Night Sorrow, be careful. The lightning tribulation isn't over yet. Wu Lingfei, who was watching from the side, shouted at Night Sorrow. After hearing Wu Lingfei's warning, Night Sorrow was stunned. When Tianyu advanced, wasn't there a lightning tribulation? Why wasn't there a lightning tribulation for him? Looking up at the sky, Night Sorrow realized that the dark clouds were still rolling and brewing energy. Without a weapon, Night Sorrow took out the sky-piercing spear. He held the sky-piercing spear in his right hand and stared at the tribulation clouds in the sky. Night Sorrow knew that his test had come. If he could successfully pass the lightning tribulations test, then he would officially become a venerable. If he couldn't, then he would become a pile of ashes under the lightning tribulation. It wasn't that Night Sorrow was nervous, but that the lightning tribulation was too terrifying. That strike just now had already shaken his internal organs. This was also because he cultivated the myriad Tao treasured tome, and had the medicine spirit's energy to help him recover, so he was fine. Little Kong, can you withstand the lightning tribulation? Night Sorrow asked Little Kong. He didn't dare to use it directly because he was afraid that Little Kong would be hurt. It's okay, you can try. Little Kong replied to Night Sorrow. Just at this moment, a second explosion rang out. A bolt of lightning once again shot towards Yi Chong. Night Sorrow controlled the Time Pagoda and smashed it towards the lightning tribulation, hoping that the Time Pagoda could withstand the lightning tribulation's power. But in reality, the result was different from what Night Sorrow expected. The lightning tribulation collided with the Time Pagoda and directly struck the Time Pagoda. Then it continued to strike towards Night Sorrow's head. At that moment, it was too late for Night Sorrow to use the Time Pagoda. He took a deep breath and used the Hand of Desolation with his left hand, slapping towards the lightning tribulation. Then he poured his chi into the sky-piercing spear in his right hand. Before Night Sorrow's left hand and the lightning tribulation intersected, a vision started to appear. The scene on Night Sorrow's hand changed, and then Night Sorrow's hand and the lightning tribulation collided. With a muffled sound, Night Sorrow's body was sent flying. Chapter 688. Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second/Small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Night Sorrow used the 7-star glorious moon spear to shatter the sky-piercing spear, but the lightning was still there. Night Sorrow's body flashed and retreated quickly, but the lightning was still chasing after him. Night Sorrow had no choice but to take out a second sky-piercing spear, and continue to use the 7-star glorious moon spear to block the lightning. Pa, pa, pa. Cracking sounds kept coming out as Night Sorrow's sky-piercing spear shattered one by one. When the 11th spear shattered, Night Sorrow only had one sky-piercing spear left. The lightning was offset by Night Sorrow's attack. Night Sorrow's heart ached when the sky-piercing spear was destroyed, but he had no choice. Currently, the sky-piercing spear was only left with the 5-clawed pterosaur's dragon tendon. However, Night Sorrow didn't feel relieved because the thunderclouds in the sky were still rolling. What's going on? Is it not over until we kill Night Sorrow? Sikong Chuyu's eyes were filled with anger and worry. No one can help him at this time. The lightning tribulation is a test for him. Our interception and attacks will be ignored. We didn't make a spirit-level weapon for him. This is our biggest mistake. Wu Lingfei's eyes were also filled with worry. Looking at the rolling thunderclouds, Night Sorrow planned to hide in the space-time treasure pagoda. After his body flashed, he realized that it was useless. There was an energy in the world that could block him from entering the space-time treasure pagoda. This meant that he could only face the lightning tribulation and couldn't escape. Night Sorrow took a deep breath and put on a pair of claw gloves. One was the azure claw glove, and the other was a custom-made claw glove from the Medicine Valley. He didn't have a weapon now, so this was all he could do. As for the spirit-level longsword in his storage ring, he couldn't use it at all and couldn't fight at all. Following the third explosion, lightning bolts shot towards Night Sorrow once more. This time, Night Sorrow activated the Golden Phoenix flexible armor. At the same time, he also activated his protective energy shield. He then executed the spatial splitter consummate skill. At present, Night Sorrow had consumed a lot of true chi, mainly because he had just advanced and had not yet stabilized his cultivation, so his true chi could not withstand his continuous attacks. In addition, the 2 consecutive lightning strikes had already injured Night Sorrow, so he did not dare to hold back. The Space Rend energy chop was very fast, and it collided with the lightning in midair, causing a series of explosions. After the first spatial tier was completed, Night Sorrow immediately sent out a second spatial tier. The lightning was weakened by Night Sorrow's spatial rend, but it still continued to press down. Night Sorrow's body continued to fly backwards. At the same time, he continued to unleash spatial cracks. Baidu search, AI go female sign shao say, www.aichuxs.com. After the fourth spatial tier was sent out, Night Sorrow's bloodline talent under the dragon bone was completely exhausted. However, at this time, the lightning still had more than half of its power. With a low roar, Night Sorrow used the myriad Tao Tome's energy to protect his body. The true Qi in his right hand, and the power of Desolates in his left hand executed the shattering killing fist he had learned from Reverend Lu Shan. He continuously punched the lightning bolts that were chasing after him, and began to resist them with all his might. Bang! Bang! Muffled sounds kept coming out. Night Sorrow, who had not been caught by the lightning bolts, continuously punched out to wear down the lightning bolt's energy. After a dozen punches, his gloves shattered. Night Sorrow did not care so much and continued to punch. After a dozen punches, Night Sorrow could no longer use his true Qi. This was because his true Qi was exhausted. If he forcefully activated his true Qi again, there was the danger of his core shattering. In addition, his power of Desolates was also exhausted. Love go go shao shua 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 w. I2X. Com with a long roar, Night Sorrow's right hand changed to the myriad Tao Tome's energy, and his left hand changed to the profound Jade's spiritual energy. He once again attacked the weakened lightning bolts. When Night Sorrow's myriad Tao Tome's energy and profound Jade's spiritual energy were almost exhausted, the lightning bolts were also dispersed by Night Sorrow. Standing on the shore of the lake, Night Sorrow's body was trembling. He was currently extremely weak, and there was no energy left in his body. If the lightning calamity was not over, he would only end up being killed. At this time, the dark clouds in the sky dispersed and disappeared in an instant. A five-colored light appeared and slowly fell on Night Sorrow's body. An extremely comfortable feeling spread to Night Sorrow's heart. Night Sorrow immediately sat down cross-legged and began to fully recover. As the various energies in Night Sorrow's body circulated, the five-colored light was absorbed by Night Sorrow and disappeared into Night Sorrow's body. Success, he passed this trial. Wu Lingfei let out a sigh of relief. Permanent S free of charge look at little a and say, what's going on? Entering the venerable realm, there are actually 3 terrifying lightning calamities. This is asking for death. Yilingxia muttered. There are 2 possibilities for this situation. The first is that the heavenly Tao does not tolerate it, so the heavenly Tao created a lightning calamity to annihilate him. The second is that it is a test of the heavenly Tao. But no matter what the situation is, there will be great benefits after passing it. Wu Lingfei explained. Then everyone waited. After Night Sorrow's 5-colored light entered his body, he completely recovered. However, in order to not waste the 5-colored light's energy, he kept circulating his own energy and merged it into his body. After refining Night Sorrow, he realized that his soul power, myriad Tao Tome, power of Desolates, true Qi, and mysterious Jade spiritual energy were all strengthened to different degrees. This made him very happy and he continued to meditate and cultivate. After cultivating for 2 hours, Night Sorrow's myriad Tao Tome entered the bottleneck of the 7th level of the Tao-seeking realm. Feeling that the 5-colored light's energy was wrapped in his own energy and could not escape, Night Sorrow stood up. Night Sorrow, congratulations on successfully passing the lightning calamity and entering the venerable realm. Wu Lingfei came in front of Night Sorrow and said, Thank you, Aunt Fei. Night Sorrow cupped his hands towards Wu Lingfei. Then, Yi Lingxia and Yi Linglan also congratulated Night Sorrow. The 2 of them had been scared out of their wits, afraid that Night Sorrow would not be able to withstand the lightning calamity. Then, the members of the God-slaying team also came to congratulate Night Sorrow. Sigh. It's a pity that the 11 sky-piercing spears were destroyed. They have been through many battles with me. I didn't expect that only one would be left today. Thinking about the destruction of the 11 sky-piercing spears, Night Sorrow felt a little reluctant and sad. It was their mission to accompany you as you grew up. Now that their mission is complete, we will go to Tianji Tower later to get your weapon ready. Otherwise, you won't even be able to fight, said Wu Lingfei. Night Sorrow had successfully passed the lightning calamity and entered the Venerable Realm. This was a big deal. Then the group returned to Night Sorrow's residence to hold a banquet. However, no one dared to compete with Night Sorrow in drinking today. This was because Night Sorrow had just successfully advanced and had just survived the lightning calamity. His body might not be used to it yet. Night Sorrow was very happy. After all, he had taken the most important step and entered the realm he had always dreamed of. Night Sorrow believed that it would be very easy for him to kill a beginner venerable now. He might even be able to fight a mid-level venerable. After drinking for a while, the members of the god-slaying team left. They had to seize the time to cultivate diligently. Night Sorrow lowered his head and pondered. Night Sorrow, what are you thinking about? Yiling Xie asked. Logically speaking, I should have contributed to the Nine Zones world. Back then, I fought in the Death Space, and then I fought in the Supreme River Space. How could there still be a lightning tribulation? Night Sorrow voiced his confusion. Chapter 689. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? I will provide you with wonderful novels to read. I see. What is the compensation? I don't know the details, but it will strengthen all kinds of energy in my body. Even the power of desolates, which is the most difficult to cultivate, will be improved. Love go little say, Chu Night Sorrow said. This kind of compensation is very good. Well, you seem to be in a good state now. Take a rest. We'll go to Tianji Tower and ask Master K to forge a weapon for you, Wu Lingfei said. This matter is indeed urgent. The reincarnation spear is damaged now. If I use it again, it will be completely destroyed. I can't bear the consequences. I feel uncomfortable if I don't practice the spear for a day, Night Sorrow said. After chatting for a while, Night Sorrow followed Wu Lingfei to the first base of the Tianji Tower in the Taiqing region. However, he did not see Lin Yuandao or Xie Lanjun there. Then Wu Lingfei brought Night Sorrow to the secret tower of the Tianji Tower headquarters. In the secret tower, the two of them saw Lin Yuandao. The Venerable Realm. Night Sorrow, you should be the youngest Venerable Realm expert in the history of the Nine Regions world. Lin Yuandao was very happy to see Night Sorrow enter the Venerable Realm. He saw Night Sorrow as his successor. It's indeed not bad. You have the ability to fight above your level. Now that you've entered the Venerable Realm, ordinary Venerables will no longer be able to threaten your safety. Xie Lanjun also arrived at the secret tower. Don't mention it. I was shocked today. Night Sorrow encountered a thunder tribulation when he entered the Venerable Realm. It was not easy to survive 3 thunder tribulations. Wu Lingfei explained the situation at that time. It was not easy to survive 3 thunder tribulations. At the same time, it also shows that his aptitude is heaven-defying. It's good that he survived. Xie Lanjuan's heart skipped a beat. Since you guys are here, I have something to do next. I will upgrade your weapon to a spiritual weapon. Lin Yuandao pointed at the reincarnation spear on Night Sorrow's back and said with a smile. 1 is not enough. We need 2. Wu Lingfei pointed at the ice silk bag on Night Sorrow's waist and told him about Night Sorrow's soul doppelganger. 2 then. Lin Yuandao said with a smile. Then, Night Sorrow took out the reincarnation spear and a pile of top-grade materials that he had prepared. Spatial refined iron? This thing is suitable for you. Your Yi clan's innate bloodline energy is of the spatial attribute. This spatial iron essence is of the spatial attribute. How about this? I will first upgrade your slightly damaged reincarnation spear. Then, I will use the spatial essence iron as the main material to forge a new spear. Love Gob Little Say W. Chulin Yuandao looked at the materials prepared by Night Sorrow and said. The spatial refined iron was given to him by Yu Yangyu during Night Sorrow's engagement ceremony. Then Wu Lingfei took Night Sorrow to rest. Night Sorrow also needed to stabilize his cultivation. Lin Yuandao took the materials and went to forge a weapon for Night Sorrow. In the courtyard next to the secret watchtower of Tianji Tower, Night Sorrow began to organize his gains after his advancement. After entering the venerable realm, Night Sorrow's cultivation became very smooth. His control of the energy of heaven and earth became stronger. At the same time, his true chi burst out more fiercely and with greater power. This was because his true chi contained the power of the soul. Night Sorrow felt that something was missing when he couldn't cultivate spear techniques. He cultivated the Hand of Desolation, the Mystic Ice Claw, and the Killing Fist. As for the heaven-covering hand, it was now replaced by the Hand of Desolation. After cultivating for half a month, Night Sorrow had completed the improvement and adaptation of his body, palm, and fist techniques after his advancement. On this day, Night Sorrow had just finished cultivating when Lin Yuandao appeared with 2 spears in his hands. Take a look. See if you are satisfied. Lin Yuandao handed the 2 spears to Night Sorrow. Yong Jiu wave LFP look at small I say Yishang put down one of the spears and picked up another one. He picked up a long spear with a silver shaft and a pitch-black blade. Yishang knew that this was the reincarnation spear just by feeling it. Because the spear had been with him for the past few years, Night Sorrow had some connection with the reincarnation spear. This was also the feeling that came from cultivating the realm of one with the spear. With a flick of his wrist, Night Sorrow displayed his spear technique. Night Sorrow felt that the reincarnation spear was a little different from before. It didn't obstruct his true chi, and after his true chi burst out, it was smooth all the way. This was the difference between a spiritual weapon and an ordinary weapon. Ordinary weapons had more impurities and obstructed energy. Therefore, they would be destroyed by the tyrannical energy of a venerable realm cultivator. In addition, insufficient strength was also a problem. As Night Sorrow displayed his spear technique, the sound of energy exploding continuously rang out. With the improvement of Night Sorrow's cultivation and the improvement of the quality of the reincarnation spear, the power of Night Sorrow's spear technique had increased greatly. After displaying a few spear techniques, Night Sorrow put away his spear and bowed to Lin Yuandao. It's very suitable. Its power has increased a lot. Thank you, Lord Quebec. Because the materials you brought are of a high level, these 2 spears are both high-grade spiritual weapons. I can only forge them after advancing to the Saint Realm. I definitely couldn't do it before. Lin Yuandao said with a smile. That's great. Night Sorrow was very happy. High-grade spiritual weapons are the highest spiritual weapons that can be forged in the current 9 regions world. Supreme-grade spiritual weapons and holy treasures are almost all self-evolved. As long as a high-grade spiritual weapon is nourished properly, it will produce a weapon spirit. However, weapons are an exception. They won't produce a weapon spirit, but with the nourishment of the user's energy and true chi, they will still advance. Wu Lingfei appeared in the courtyard. Thank you, Lord Quebec. Night Sorrow bowed to Lin Yuandao. It could be said that this had solved a big problem. All Void Inquiry stage cultivators would face this big problem after advancing to the Venerable Realm. They could not use their previous weapons. It was hard to say if they could get a spiritual weapon. Besides, it was also a big problem whether it was suitable for them. Take Night Sorrow for example. If his reincarnation spear could not advance and he could not find a suitable spear-type spiritual weapon, his combat power would be greatly reduced. There's one more thing that you have to pay attention to. You can use this high-grade spiritual weapon now because you have been fighting with it for a long time. You have already reached a certain degree of compatibility with it. However, you can't use the second spear. You need to constantly nourish it with your own energy and true chi. Only when you reach a certain degree of compatibility can you use it. Otherwise, it will be like a child wielding a huge blade. Lin Yuandao reminded Night Sorrow. Thank you, Lord Quebec. Night Sorrow understands. Night Sorrow bowed to Lin Yuandao again. These materials are superfluous. Keep them. Lin Yuandao took out some materials and placed them in front of Night Sorrow. I don't need them anymore. I'll leave them to Tianji Tower. Whoever needs them in the future can take them. Night Sorrow did not have the intention to take back the materials. No. For example, you have to keep this spatial refined iron. If the weapon is damaged and needs to be repaired or upgraded, it will also need materials. Of course, materials with the same origin are the best. Lin Yuandao said with a smile. He was quite happy. He was happy that Night Sorrow was generous, and that Night Sorrow was willing to contribute to Tianji Tower. Keep them. I believe that Lord K is already very happy that you have such a kind heart. Xie Lanjun came to the courtyard and said with a smile. It's still the Supreme Elder who understands my heart. Night Sorrow, you can treat Tianji Tower as your home, and are willing to contribute to Tianji Tower. This is what I feel most gratified about. Lin Yuandao said. But I feel a little embarrassed. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Chapter 690. Genius 1 second. Remember love go/little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. That's not suitable. Night Sorrow's aptitude is shallow, and he hasn't done anything for Tianji Tower. I really can't accept the position of young master. However, as long as Tianji Tower needs me, Night Sorrow will definitely do his best. Night Sorrow was stunned for a moment, then he refused. You haven't done anything for Tianji Tower? You've done enough. We all agree that you're suitable, Lin Yuandao said. At the very least, it's not suitable for now. The Night Clan has returned, and battles with the other dynasties are inevitable. I'm a descendant of the Night Clan, and I must participate in any battles. Therefore, I don't want to make things difficult for Tianji Tower. Night Sorrow expressed his own concerns, which was also the reason why he admitted that he was not suitable. Night Moon Dynasty is Tianji Tower's best partner and ally. Night Moon Dynasty was ambushed back then because the other party wanted to eliminate Tianji Tower's help. Tianji Tower and Night Moon Dynasty have a very deep friendship. It can be said that they advance and retreat together. Otherwise, Tianji Tower wouldn't have sent people to defend the border of Night Moon Dynasty. Therefore, you don't have to worry about this. Xie Lanjun explained why Night Sorrow's position as young master would not conflict with the future battles. You should have no more worries now, right? Lin Yuandao said with a smile. Not really. I have a very good relationship with Yin Huang and Ling Long. We're all brothers and sisters who have gone through life and death together. This kind of thing will affect them. I don't want to hurt our relationship. Night Sorrow expressed his concerns. You don't have to worry about this matter. We'll take care of it. You're the young master from today onwards. Xie Lanjun glared at Night Sorrow. All right. Then Night Sorrow will accept it. Night Sorrow bowed and said, You're still forcing yourself. Do you know what it means to be the young master of Tianji Tower? The position and identity of the young master is only second to the palace master and grand elder, and is equivalent to the vice palace master. It is higher than the other palace masters and elders, which means that they have to listen to your orders. Xie Lanjun looked at Night Sorrow and said gloomily, Many people were jealous of this position, but Night Sorrow didn't care. So that's how it is. However, Night Sorrow will know his limits and will not act recklessly. I will also respect the opinions of the seniors, Night Sorrow said. You're right. They're all seniors. We have to respect them, Xie Lanjun said with a smile after hearing Night Sorrow's words. She liked Night Sorrow's character and temper. Lin Yuandao smiled and said, I have always been worried about the future of the younger generation, and the future of the Empyrean Apex Citadel. Now that the stone in my heart has been lifted, Yishan, you should also celebrate for yourself. Take out some wine. Night Sorrow nodded and took out a few jars of wine, and placed them on the table. While drinking, Lin Yuandao changed Night Sorrow's token into a pure gold one. In addition, his mask was no longer the celestial mask. It was also a golden mask. Palace Master, please explain to Yin Huang and Ling Long. I don't want to see them hurt because of this. However, I don't think they will either, Night Sorrow said. Don't worry. I'll go with Elder Hua later to explain to them, Lin Yuandao said. Yin Huang and Ling Long had entered Tianji Tower through Hua Haining's assessment. It would be better for Hua Haining to attend the exchange. After staying in Tianji Tower for a while, Night Sorrow and Wu Lingfei returned to the city in the sky. Lin Yuandao called Hua Haining to follow them. When they arrived at the city in the sky, Lin Yuandao and Hua Haining called Ling Long and Yin Huang over to talk. Night Sorrow and Wu Lingfei returned to the mansion. Q version. After communicating with Sikong Chuyu, Yang Lei, and Aoi, Night Sorrow sent Wu Lingfei to the attic to rest. Then he went to the lake to practice his spear technique and body movement technique. After entering the venerable realm, Night Sorrow had to strengthen himself in all aspects. After obtaining the advanced reincarnation spear, Night Sorrow naturally had to strengthen his spear technique. He had to strengthen the coordination between his spear technique and his body movement technique to increase his combat strength to the greatest extent. He knew that cultivation served actual combat strength. Night Sorrow held the reincarnation spear in his hand and carried it on his back. This was to cultivate the compatibility. After cultivating for a while, Night Sorrow carried the reincarnation spear on his back. He took out the long spear with spatial attributes and waved it twice. With this wave, Night Sorrow discovered the characteristics of this spear, which was that its spatial cutting power was very strong. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow gave this new spear a name, the air-splitting spear. When Night Sorrow held the air-splitting spear and performed the unity of man and spear to find the feeling, Yun Huang and Ling Long flew down from the rock wall beside the city in the sky and landed beside Night Sorrow. "You two guys are here." Night Sorrow carried the air-splitting spear on his back and said, "Night Sorrow, what are you thinking?" "I, Yun Huang, will not have any thoughts about you becoming the young master. I will only be happy." The young master said that you are not willing to do it. "In fact, we are not willing to do it either. You are afraid of hurting our brotherhood. Then let me tell you, such a thing does not exist." Yun Huang stepped forward and punched Night Sorrow's shoulder. "I am a woman. I am not interested in being an official." "It is very good that you are the young master. I am sincerely happy, so don't make blind guesses. Our brotherhood will not change," Ling Long also said. "Actually, I am also not interested in being the young master. I am being forced to do something beyond my ability. There is nothing I can do about it," Night Sorrow said. I know you. You are the young master of the Night Moon Dynasty, but I don't see you putting on airs. This shows that you are not interested in power. Your 2 spears are not bad. Did the Tianji Tower help you make them?" Yun Huang said. "Yes, I provided the materials. The young master helped me refine them," Night Sorrow said with a smile. "You should have asked me. I can probably refine spiritual weapons now. I don't need you to provide the materials. How about this? I can help you make a spear pouch. It will be more convenient to carry the spears," Yun Huang said. "Okay. Also, you can refine spiritual weapons. Can you help me upgrade this?" Night Sorrow took out his only remaining sky-piercing spear. "You really want me to do it? I am currently practicing refining weapons. My scimitar has not been upgraded yet," Yun Huang said with some embarrassment. "No problem. When is it convenient for you to do it for me? I have some materials here," Night Sorrow said. "That is not necessary. Remember that wine you promised me. I will double it," Yun Huang said with a smile. "Okay, no problem." Night Sorrow of course knew what Yun Huang was talking about. He was talking about the Sun Dragon wine. "Captain, this is your fault. You have good wine, and can give it to Yun Huang. Why can't I have a share? Am I not your brother or sister?" After listening to Night Sorrow and Yun Huang's conversation, Ling Long was somewhat unwilling. That is a wine for men. It is not suitable for women," Night Sorrow said with a smile. "I don't believe it. What wine can be drunk by men but not by women? Give it to me." Ling Long stretched out her hand to Night Sorrow. Chapter 691. Genius 1 Second. Remember Love Go/Little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. 2 shameless people, drinking any kind of wine. I don't want this kind of wine. Give me another jar. Ling Long looked at Night Sorrow and Yun Huang with disdain. Night Sorrow took out 3 jars of wine. The 3 of them went to the wooden boat and started drinking and chatting. "This is a good thing. Night Sorrow, now that you're the young master, at least we don't have to worry about some powerful people coming out to bully us in the future." "Haha," Yun Huang said happily. "Indeed, Yun Huang and I have never thought about being the young master. However, if someone else becomes the young master, it will be troublesome for us. Should we listen to them or not? If we don't, we'll be disobeying them," Linglong said. Haha. We just have to do our own thing. There's no need to think about other things, Night Sorrow said with a smile. The three of them drank for a while and returned to Night Sorrow's mansion. Lin Yuandao and Hua Haining were there in Night Sorrow's mansion. Well, the three of you have a deep friendship and can fight side by side. This is a good situation, Lin Yuandao said with a nod. Our captain is thinking too much. If someone else becomes the young master, we might not be convinced, but our captain is fine with it, Linglong said. It's good that you're all fine with it. Elder Hua and I will go back first. You three, if you need anything, come find us at Tianji Tower. Also, there are other members of Tianji Tower in the God-slaying squad. You three take good care of them, Lin Yuandao said and left Night Sorrow's mansion with Hua Haining. Soon after, Yun Huang and Linglong also left. They had come to see Yishang to express their attitude. They wanted to show that their friendship would not be affected by Yishang taking over as the young master of the Empyrean Terminus Tower. After everyone left, Night Sorrow told the three girls about what happened at the headquarters of Tianji Tower. 2 high-grade spirit spears. 13, you're really something. Young Lei patted Night Sorrow's shoulder and said. Then Night Sorrow talked about how he had taken over the position of the young master of Tianji Tower. Haha. We're all from Tianji Tower. If Sha Dan is the one in charge of Tianji Tower in the future, we'll also have a headache. With the power in your hands, at least we won't be bullied. Sikong Chiyu was also very happy. Oh, forever, too free of charge. Read L Novel 13. Now that you've entered the Exalt realm, you should organize everything you've learned in the past. Only then would you be able to develop steadily. Aoi said. She was the calmest of them all. I understand. I should focus on stabilizing my cultivation for now. However, I still have to go into seclusion first. My body's cultivation has also reached the critical point of a breakthrough. Night Sorrow glanced at his body and said, I really have to hand it to you. You've improved so quickly in all aspects. Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow and said with some emotion. After drinking tea for a while, Night Sorrow entered the secret cultivation room. After taking out the spirit jade stone stool that contained life energy, Night Sorrow sat down cross-legged and placed the 2 spears on his legs. Then he took out the black tortoise spirit crystal and began to cultivate. The advancement of the myriad Tao Tome was relatively easy. As long as there was enough energy in the body, it would naturally advance. Night Sorrow cultivated naturally. At the same time, he nourished the 2 spears on his knees. While Night Sorrow was cultivating, he also naturally refined the 5-colored light in his body. That was the heavenly Tao's compensation after the lightning calamity. It was helpful to him in all aspects, and it was a fundamental help. It increased the density of his true qi, the strength of his tendons, meridians, flesh, and bones. His soul power was also stained with some of the 5-colored light, making his soul power more complete. In addition, it also strengthened the walls of his Dantian and Spirit Sea. After half a day, Night Sorrow's myriad Tao Tome entered level 8 of the Tao Querying Realm. Not only was the energy of the myriad Tao Tome stronger, but Night Sorrow's body was also strengthened. His strength had also increased. His essence Qi Smoke had also reached more than 5 zhang. After the advancement of the myriad Tao Tome, Night Sorrow did not come out of seclusion. He stabilized his cultivation and cultivated at the same time. He communicated with Shao Kong to help him. That was to continue cultivating his soul power and bloodline power. His true qi and myriad Tao Tome's cultivation were stabilized and settled. After cultivating for half a month, Night Sorrow came out of seclusion. After coming out of seclusion, his mental state was extremely good. It could be said that he could be considered a true honorable now. His cultivation had stabilized, and his battle skills and movement skills had also caught up with the rhythm. Night Sorrow came to the training ground where the God-slaying squad was cultivating. He drank tea and watched everyone cultivate. During the interval of drinking tea, Night Sorrow asked about the situation of the resources. He was only relieved when he heard that there was no problem with the resources. Night Sorrow was very tired of Night Sorrow. After cultivating for a while, she would run to Night Sorrow's place to chat. Seeing that everyone was cultivating in full swing, Night Sorrow greeted Sikong Chiyu, Yang Lei, and Aoi before returning to the secret cultivation room. This time, Night Sorrow was cultivating with a specific purpose. His true chi and myriad Tao tome were naturally stabilized. While the time-space treasure pagoda was assisting him in cultivating his soul power and bloodline power, Night Sorrow took the Desolate Stone and started cultivating. He wanted to absorb the energy of the Desolate Stone to strengthen his power of Desolates. Usually, Night Sorrow did not have such an opportunity. This was because he usually held the Black Tortoise Spirit Crystal to cultivate the Myriad Tao Tome. Now that the Myriad Tao Tome needed to be stabilized, he could spare some time. Night Sorrow cultivated day and night. He had 4 Desolate Stones, and he needed about 10 days to refine each Desolate Stone. When Night Sorrow did not come out of seclusion for more than a month, Young Lei felt like scolding him. Ninth junior sister, calm down. Night Sorrow is cultivating, not seclusion. Don't worry. Looking at Young Lei, who was pacing back and forth, Aoi said, "That's right. If he's not in seclusion, why can't he come out and rest? Doesn't he know that others are worried? Doesn't he know that he has a family?" Young Lei said angrily, "Sometimes he has some enlightenment. How can he stop when he has enlightenment? All right, sit down and have a cup of tea." Aoi pulled Young Lei to sit down and poured her a cup of tea. "I'm not angry at him. It's just that he doesn't cherish himself. It's too tiring." Young Lei took a deep breath and said, "Sikong Chiyu did not say anything." She also felt the same. She did not want Night Sorrow to be too tired. Just as the 3 women were drinking tea, Night Sorrow came out. After more than a month of seclusion, Night Sorrow finally strengthened the power of Desolates in the 4 Desolate Stones. The power of Desolates in his body had also strengthened by a lot. It could be said that his arms were now filled with power of Desolates. However, the amount was not enough. He was unable to convert the myriad Tao treasured books attributes. Night Sorrow's goal was to accumulate power of Desolates and convert the myriad Tao treasured books attributes. However, Night Sorrow also had some concerns. The myriad Tao treasured book contained power of Desolates. If he cultivated according to his current cultivation method, would it work? Once the energy was converted, what would he do if he could not absorb the energy from the Xian Turtle Crystal and Blood Spirit Turtle Crystal? If he could only rely on the power of Desolates, where would he find so much power of Desolates? Looking at Night Sorrow, who had his head lowered, the 3 women stood up. Chapter 692. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with interesting novels to read. It's refining the Desolate Stone. It's refining it in one go. After sitting down, Night Sorrow was still thinking about it. He was still confused. Can't you come out and rest before going into seclusion to cultivate? Young Lei stared at Night Sorrow. I'm sorry. I lost track of time while cultivating. 9th senior sister, 6th senior sister, Chiyu, please don't be angry. I didn't do it on purpose. Night Sorrow stood up and smiled apologetically. Then he poured tea for the 3 girls. Even if you want to be angry, you can't. However, you have to cherish yourself. Cultivation requires hard work, but we are really worried about you. Young Lei said, Be careful. I will be careful in the future. Night Sorrow said, You have been thinking about it. Did something happen? Sikong Chiyu asked Night Sorrow. I am a little confused. I don't know how to deal with it. Night Sorrow didn't hide anything from the 3 girls, and told them about the current situation. This is indeed a worrying problem. Your myriad Tao treasured tomes attribute has changed, so your combat strength will increase. However, without the absorption of the power of Desolates, your body tempering cultivation will remain stagnant. Then the losses will outweigh the gains. Young Lei looked at Night Sorrow and said, Love go little say Netku. That's what I am worried about. Night Sorrow nodded and said, 13. Can you do this? Fuse a little of the power of Desolates into the energy in your body, and observe it slowly. Maybe your body's energy will have the characteristics of the power of Desolates, and it won't hinder the advancement of your cultivation, Qingji said. 6th senior sister, you mean to increase the quantity of the myriad Tao treasured tome's energy, and use the power of Desolates as its quality. Night Sorrow's eyes lit up. Give it a try first. If it works, you can fuse with it. The smoothest outcome is that your body tempering cultivation level will not be delayed. The improvement of the energy quality requires the power of desolates. Aoi nodded. Night Sorrow stood up and walked a few steps away. However, he soon came back and smiled at the three girls in embarrassment. Why aren't you leaving? Why don't you go and cultivate? Young Lei looked at Night Sorrow, her eyes already smoking. No, I'm just warming up, Night Sorrow explained with a smile. If you dare to cultivate now, I will immediately tear down your secret cultivation room, Young Lei said. Night Sorrow smiled and nodded. Then he suggested that they go to the lake to roast fish and drink wine. The three women were satisfied with this suggestion. Then they went to the wooden boat by the lake. Seeing Night Sorrow's arrival, Tianyu, who was originally resting here, was very happy. He kept being intimate with Night Sorrow. Get me a few big fish. Night Sorrow patted Tianyu's neck. After receiving Night Sorrow's signal, Tianyu flew directly into the lake. Soon 2 fish were caught by Tianyu. After cleaning them up, Night Sorrow roasted them. I've been in seclusion for a month. What's the situation outside? Could it be that it has quietened down? Nothing's going on, Yang Lei said. The moon is very round. Is it the day to pay respects to the ancestors of the Yi family? Night Sorrow said. Tomorrow is the day to pay respects to the full moon. Last month, the 3 of us went to pay respects on your behalf, Sikong Chiyu said. Night Sorrow nodded. Thank you for your hard work. I'll leave it to you to take care of such things. After that, they ate the roasted fish and drank wine while chatting casually. Night Sorrow had not been so relaxed for a long time. 6th Senior Sister, when can we reach the Venerable Realm? Shursen runs too fast. We can't catch up to him even if we try to catch up. Yang Lei, who was already at the peak of the 6th level of the Void Inquiry stage, gave Night Sorrow a glance and said, Why are you two still in a hurry? I'm not even in a hurry. Aoi said with a smile. When 6th Senior Sister reaches the 3rd level of the Void Inquiry stage and eats the Void Extreme pill, it will be very fast for you to advance to the 4th level of the Void Inquiry stage. Sikong Chiyu, who was also at the peak of the 6th level of the Void Inquiry stage, said, Everyone, don't be in a hurry. Cultivate slowly. Your foundation must be stable. Night Sorrow said, Aren't you embarrassed to say that to us? Why don't you cultivate slowly? Young Lei glared at Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow smiled embarrassedly. Speaking of this matter, he felt a little guilty. 9th Junior Sister, you've already scolded him a few times. Shursen has been accompanying you with a smile. How about this? Let's go to Night Moon City tomorrow. Shursen, you can also relax. It's no big deal to postpone your cultivation for a while. Aoi said. Night Sorrow nodded. He also understood that he needed to spend some time with the 3 ladies. 13th Junior Brother, I'm sorry. 9th Senior Sister is a little excited. Young Lei suddenly felt that she was a little strict. No matter what, Night Sorrow was the young master of Night Moon City and the young master of Tianji Tower. It was not appropriate for her to yell at him. Night Sorrow did not mind. It would not be good if others heard it. It's nothing. I really didn't spend much time with you. Night Sorrow said. Young Lei did not say anything. However, she knew that she had to change. Although Night Sorrow did not mind, it was not the same as before. The few of them chatted and drank until midnight before returning to the mansion. Night Sorrow sent Aoi back to the mansion first. 6th Senior Sister, if there's anything, just tell me. I'm a little careless. Very good. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Go back and accompany the 2 of them. Aoi hugged Night Sorrow and returned to the attic to rest. When Night Sorrow returned to the mansion, Yang Lei and Sikong Chiyu were still there. Since you haven't left, then don't leave. Night Sorrow held each of their hands and entered the bedroom. The red candles burned and the gauze curtains swayed. The room was filled with charm. For hours later, the 3 of them stopped fighting. 13. I only said a few words to you today and you took revenge. My body is about to collapse. You almost took it apart. My waist is a little numb. Yang Lei muttered unhappily when she saw Night Sorrow coming out of the bathroom. Night Sorrow smiled. You were the one who kept yelling. Weren't you afraid? What could I do to you? Now you know that your waist hurts? That's right. I can prove it. Ninth senior sister was yelling very loudly just now. Sikong Chiyu, who was combing his hair, said. That's so embarrassing. Let's not talk about it anymore. Let's meditate and cultivate. Yang Lei sat down cross-legged and began cultivating. Sikong Chiyu combed his hair and also entered a state of cultivation. Night Sorrow also began to meditate as he watched the two girls cultivate. While he was meditating, his pair of spears were placed on his legs. Q latest chapter T verse O previous. After washing up and eating breakfast in the morning, Night Sorrow and the others went to the martial arts arena. He was going to Night Moon City. However, before he went, he wanted to see how his brothers were doing with their cultivation. When they saw Night Sorrow, the members of the god-slaying squad cupped their hands and greeted him. Xueling, Ho Jian, is everyone all right? Night Sorrow glanced at the members of the god-slaying squad and asked the two vice-captains. No problem at all. Everyone has mastered the technique of using energy. Xueling took a step forward and said. Chapter 693. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. There's no problem at all. During this period of time, 6th senior sister has also been refining pills for us. Nan Liu stood up and said. That's right. Nan Liu stood up and said. Okay, that's good. Also, if you're worried about your family or the sect, you can go back together. If you encounter any difficulties, just let me know, Night Sorrow said. Seeing that Night Sorrow was done dealing with the god-slaying squad, Yin Huang walked over to Night Sorrow's side. This is the holster I made for you. Try it on. It'll be more comfortable to carry. As he spoke, Yin Huang took out a holster that was half a foot long. It was hollowed out. Newer, new percent and fastest Jup Yuzi, not bad, it looks beautiful, Night Sorrow said as he took the gun from the holster. It's designed to be hollowed out so that the weapon can be nourished by the energy leaking from the body. Yin Huang explained to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow then put the gun holster on his back and inserted the two guns into it. After chatting with everyone for a while, Night Sorrow brought Sikong Chiyu, Yang Lei, and Aoi to Night Moon City. When the citizens of Yeyue City saw Yi Shang and the others, they all bowed in greeting. After what had happened during this period of time, Yi Shang's prestige in Yeyue City was extremely high. Everyone knew that the current situation of Night Moon was brought about by Night Sorrow. They also knew that their young master had risked his life to investigate the situation in the alternate dimension in order to stabilize Night Moon. Night Sorrow and the three girls sat on the beast carriage and walked around the city on Night Moon. They even had some food in a restaurant. Night Moon City feels very comfortable, very different from the hustle and bustle of other cities, Sikong Chiyu said. Indeed. It gives off a very peaceful feeling. Look at the many people walking on the streets. There are also vendors on both sides of the street, but no one is making a ruckus. The quality is indeed very good, Yang Lei said. That's why we have to learn from 9th junior sister. Always said with a smile. 6th senior sister is here again. I'm trying to change it now. Yang Lei said. After eating some food, Night Sorrow paid the bill despite the restaurant's refusal. Night Sorrow then called for a beast carriage. Night Sorrow's heart skipped a beat when he saw the carriage driver, because he recognized him. Without saying anything, Yi Shang brought the three women onto the beast carriage and rushed towards Yiyuetian. Then, Yi Shang saw flying beasts in the sky. Night Moon City allows flying mounts? Night Sorrow asked. Yes, it happened half a month ago. Because our young master's brothers and friends cleared out all the high-level demonic beasts in the wilderness and deep mountains near Night Moon City, flying mounts are allowed in Night Moon City, the carriage driver said. Night Sorrow, let's use flying mounts then, Yang Lei said. So you all have flying mounts. Then I'll stop by the side, the carriage driver said with a smile. No. I'll take the beast carriage today, Night Sorrow said with a wave of his hand. Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow with some confusion, but she didn't ask. Night Sorrow must have his reasons for making such a decision. Even if there wasn't a reason, she had to accompany him. Love go go xiao shua 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 w. I2x. Siwam on Night Moon City. Night Sorrow got off the beast carriage and handed 2 high-grade spirit stones to the carriage driver. No, just 2 low-grade spirit stones will do. The carriage driver shook his head and said, Uncle, when I first came to Night Moon City, I took your beast carriage to go to Night Moon City. At that time, you took half of the fare and said that you hoped that I wouldn't blaspheme the Night Moon City. Therefore, the glory of the Night Moon City is defended by you all. Night Sorrow is grateful. Night Sorrow bowed to the carriage driver. Sikong Chiyu, Yanglei, and Aoi also cupped their hands to the carriage driver. They understood why Night Sorrow still wanted to take the beast carriage, even after knowing that flying mounts were allowed. Night Sorrow, you are the young master. Young master, please don't be like this. The carriage driver hurriedly bowed in return. Take these spirit stones and cultivate diligently. The glory of the Night Moon still needs to be defended by everyone. Night Sorrow stuffed the spirit stones into the carriage driver's hands. Take it. Night Moon is honored to have citizens like you all. It is also the glory of the Night Moon. Yi Lingxia appeared and nodded to the carriage driver. Night Sorrow waved at the carriage driver again, and brought the 3 girls to follow Yi Lingxia to Night Moon City. When they arrived at Yi Lingxia's residence, Yi Lingxia wanted to make tea, but Yang Lei took the teapot away. 6th uncle, you don't have any servants here? Night Sorrow asked in surprise. 6th uncle doesn't need them. I usually sweep the courtyard and take care of the flowers and plants. It can also be considered as a form of cultivation, Yi Lingxia said with a smile. Here are the spirit stones. 6th uncle, please take them first. The medicinal pills will have to wait. I don't have time to study alchemy recently. Later, I will refine a batch of medicinal pills. Night Sorrow took out 2 storage rings and handed them to Yi Lingxia. Night Moon is currently on the right track. There is no shortage of resources, and it will slowly enter a virtuous cycle. Our Night Moon citizens can live a hard life. You can keep the resources. Yi Lingxia pushed the storage rings to Night Sorrow. It's still enough for me. The people of Yi are able to live a tough life. They've endured for so many years, but since we've decided to stand up again, we can't let them live a sullen life anymore. Just like the coachman uncle today, the Yi family has the responsibility and obligation to let them live a better life. Night Sorrow said. Back then, it was the carriage driver uncle who had taught him his first lesson. The glory of Night Moon was in everyone's hearts. That's good. 6th uncle will take it. You're right. Our Yi clan owes them. Yi Lingxia nodded. Also, contact the Yi clan again. If there is anything we need, just tell us. If we can do it, we will do it. If we can't, we will do it. Night Sorrow expressed his attitude. I just contacted them. Right now, the upper echelons of the Yi clan are in seclusion. Some of the disciples have also entered a state of frenzied cultivation. There is no need for us to worry. Yi Lingxia shook his head at Night Sorrow. After that, Night Sorrow and the others chatted casually with Yi Lingxia. Yi Lingxia also told Night Sorrow about the Yi clan's situation with the spatial fissures. It wasn't much different from Wu Lingfei's analysis. The cultivation path was almost the same. The only difference was that the Yi clan members had strengthened their cultivation in this area since they were young. In the Sea of Night Moon, there was a cultivation treasure land with strong spatial attributes. The Yi clan members all cultivated their foundation there. Because of the spatial energy, the Yi clan members' talent was strengthened at a young age. This also let Night Sorrow know why his bloodline talent was activated late. It was because he had started late. You don't have the help of the blessed land, but you still cultivate the spatial fissures very well. Yi Lingxia smiled at Night Sorrow as he spoke. I was taught by Auntie Fei. Otherwise, I would only know that the bloodline talent would increase my battle strength. I didn't even know about the existence of a unique talent, Night Sorrow said. Chapter 694. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go/Little? We provide you with interesting novels to read. Later, I'll go to the Sea of Night Moon to cultivate the spatial crack technique, and see if I can do it or not. Night Sorrow said. All right. 6th uncle will accompany you then. Yi Lingxia nodded. Night Sorrow had entered the venerable realm, and awakened 5 innate bloodline energy points, which allowed him to cultivate the authentic spatial crack technique. When the moon rose, Yi Lingxia brought Night Sorrow and the others to the stone tablet in the night moon sky. At this moment, there were many people gathered in front of the stone tablet in the night moon sky. The administrators of Wuyo City, Wuemo City and other cities who had teleportation formations had all arrived. When they saw Night Sorrow and Yi Lingxia, they all bowed to greet them. Yi Lingxia waved his hand. There's no need for so much etiquette. Burn incense for the heroes of the Yi clan who died in battle. First, Night Sorrow brought Sikong Chiyu, Yang Lei and Aoi to burn incense in front of the stone tablet. Then Yi Lingxia brought some venerable realm experts of the Night Moon Sky branch, and the administrators of the other cities. 4 forever exempt $W fee look. Little number 0 say 1y. Our young lord has already killed countless venerable realm experts when he was just at the 5th grade void inquiry stage. Now he has even entered the venerable realm. He is worthy of being called the king of the night moon. With such a young lord, why would we need to worry about the night moon standing at the top of the 9 regions again? Therefore, everyone can relax and cultivate. Yi Lingxia looked at the people of the night moon who were paying their respects to the Yi clan's martyrs and said, after hearing Yi Lingxia's words, the people of the night moon bowed to pay their respects to their young lord again. Night Sorrow doesn't deserve everyone's respect, but as long as I'm here, I'll fight whoever dares to bully my night moon and humiliate my night moon. Night Sorrow declared. After hearing Night Sorrow's words, the people of Night Moon became excited again. The people of Night Moon didn't lack courage. Now that there was a young master with courage, how could they not be excited? After paying his respects, Night Sorrow was stopped by Gu Jun. He hoped that Night Sorrow would take a walk around Wuyo City. Night Sorrow greeted Yi Lingxia and brought the 3 girls to Wuyo City. After meeting some people from the city lord's mansion of Wuyo City, Night Sorrow took the 3 girls to walk around the city of Wuyo. Wuyo City. The name is beautiful and so is the city. Before the war, Uncle and Auntie must have lived a happy life here. Aoi said emotionally. This place will be even more beautiful in the future. If you like, we can build a mansion here. Night Sorrow said. We can come if we want. It's convenient to have a teleportation portal. How can we manage so many mansions? Sikong Chiyu said with a smile. Then we'll do as you say. Night Sorrow said. After that, the few of them walked around Wuyo City. Seeing that the girls were tired, Night Sorrow called for them to ride their mounts back to the teleportation portal. After greeting Gu Jun, they teleported to Night Moon City and returned to the city in the sky. After returning to the mansion, the few of them sat down and chatted. Although Night Moon is still recovering, his spirit is very good. The heart of glory is in everyone's heart. This is indestructible. As long as he doesn't die, his faith will be there. It won't be a problem for him to rise again. Aoi said. I understand. In that case, all of you can cultivate however you want. I'll try to integrate the power of Desolates into the Myriad Daos tome later. Also, I'll go to Night Moon Sea with 6th Uncle to cultivate the spatial crack. After I'm done with this, I'll accompany all of you. 9th Senior Sister, don't be angry. Night Sorrow said. 13. 9th Senior Sister has a straightforward temper. She might be a little arrogant. However, I'm not blaming you. I just feel sorry for you. Don't be angry. After hearing Night Sorrow's words, Yang Lei's eyes became a little moist. This was because she knew that her attitude had affected Night Sorrow. However, Night Sorrow was still willing to accommodate her and not make her unhappy. I know that 9th Senior Sister, 6th Senior Sister, Chuyu, all of you are doing this for my sake. I'm not angry. There's only warmth in my heart. Night Sorrow stood up and hugged Yang Lei. We're all a family. No one will be angry at anyone. Sit down and drink some tea. Night Sorrow, just take care of yourself in the future. Sikong Chiyu stood up and poured tea for everyone. I know. Currently, the problem with the power of Desolates needs to be solved. The other thing is to cultivate the spatial crack. In the future, I won't have anything to do. I'll accompany all of you every day. Refining pills and roasting fish by the lake will be easy. Night Sorrow said with a smile. After chatting for a while, Night Sorrow went to the secret cultivation room to study the power of desolates. 6th Senior Sister, did I bring a lot of pressure to 13? Young Lei looked at Aoi and asked. That's not it. 13 is working very hard. We just need to give him some pointers and subconsciously influence him a little. For example, we can take him to the streets or take him out to play. That way, our goal will be achieved. After all, 13 cares about us, so he won't refuse our suggestion. Qingji expressed her opinion. 6th Senior Sister is still the most experienced. I have to learn from her in the future. Young Lei exhaled and said. Night Sorrow entered the secret cultivation room. He took out the spirit stone of life and sat on it. After placing the 2 spears on his legs, he began to cultivate. Night Sorrow first separated a strand of power of desolates into the myriad Tao treasured book's energy. Then he slowly dispersed it. Following that, he quickly circulated the myriad Tao treasured book's energy. After that, he began to absorb the energy of heaven and earth to cultivate naturally. He carefully observed whether the myriad Tao treasured book's energy was still increasing. After observing for a while, Night Sorrow didn't feel much. He directly drank 2 drops of Spirit of Life liquid to cultivate. As he cultivated the myriad Tao treasured book, Night Sorrow felt that the myriad Tao treasured book's energy was still increasing. Feeling that it wasn't affected, Night Sorrow continued to disperse the power of desolates into the myriad Tao treasured book's energy. As he poured the power of desolates into the myriad Tao treasured book, Night Sorrow tried his best to raise the myriad Tao treasured book's cultivation level. At the same time, he observed the changes in the myriad Tao treasured book's energy. Once something happened, he would stop. Time slipped away bit by bit. The power of desolates in Night Sorrow's arms decreased as it merged into the myriad Tao treasured book's energy. The myriad Tao treasured book's energy was still increasing. It didn't fall into a deadlock because of the change in the power of desolate's attribute. Such a situation made Night Sorrow feel more at ease. To be honest, he was a little afraid. Whether it was the myriad Tao treasured book or the power of desolates, they were both his trump cards. They were his foundation. If anything happened to either of them, it would have a huge impact on him. It could even affect his future cultivation. After a night, Night Sorrow's power of desolates had completely merged with the myriad Tao treasured book. This caused the myriad Tao treasured book's cultivation level to rise to the late stage of level 8 Tao querying realm. What made Night Sorrow the happiest was that the myriad Tao treasured book's cultivation level was still increasing with the help of the Spirit of Life liquid. After sensing his body, Night Sorrow stopped cultivating. After calming himself down, he left the secret cultivation room. Chapter 695. Genius 1 second. Remember love/go/little? Sure, Net provides you with wonderful novels to read. Without caring about anything else, Night Sorrow circulated the power of the myriad Tao tome and struck an ancient tree in the mansion with his palm. Oh, genuine first release K square root. As Night Sorrow struck with his palm, the image of time flowing appeared on his palm. Following that, the ancient tree withered, aged and died. Good. Night Sorrow roared. What are you doing? Sikong Chiyu was shocked by Night Sorrow's roar. Success. The fusion is a success. Although the power of desolate's attribute power has decreased compared to before, the attributes are still there. Now as long as I have energy in my body, my attacks will contain the power of desolate's attribute attack. Night Sorrow said excitedly. That's great. It can be considered as solving one of your problems. Aoi walked over and said with a smile. 6th Senior Sister's suggestion is still the best. Night Sorrow hugged Aoi and kissed her on the cheek. After the kiss, Night Sorrow was stunned for a moment. Aoi's face was also red. She did not expect such a situation. 6th Senior Sister, I was a little excited. That was abrupt. Night Sorrow said embarrassedly. What are you trying to explain? Kissing your fiancé is a normal thing to do. Young Lei said with a smile. I'm so happy. 6th Senior Sister's suggestion helped me solve a big problem. In the future, I won't have to be distracted by 2 types of energy. The cultivation of the myriad Tao tome will not be delayed. In the future, when I have desolate stones, I can use them to improve the quality of the power of desolates in the myriad Dao tome. Night Sorrow said. Everyone was happy that Night Sorrow's problem was solved. They ate breakfast happily. However, Aoi blushed every time she saw Night Sorrow. After breakfast, the three girls went to the martial arts practice field. They had already become used to following the team to cultivate. Yi Shang also followed them to the martial arts practice field. After sending the three women to the martial arts practice field, Yi Shang waved at the three women and went to the lake to cultivate. Night Sorrow did not want to be special. He was afraid that his cultivation state would affect the others. After all, the gap was too big. It would be easy to attack the others' confidence. When Yi Shang cultivated his spear art and movement technique, as well as his actual combat ability, he used the reincarnation spear. This way, he could cultivate the strongest destructive power. While cultivating his senses, Night Sorrow held the Space Splitter Spear and cultivated the compatibility between him and the Space Splitter Spear. This way, his doppelganger would be able to use it in the future. In the evening, Yi Shang didn't wait for the girls to find him. Instead, he went to the martial arts practice field and waited for the three girls to finish their cultivation, so that they could go home together. Delivery in the morning and pick at night. Captain, your fiancé is simply a model. I'm so envious. Ling Long said with a smile. You can do it in the future too. Yi Shang, who had brought the three girls away, waved his hand and said without turning back. Ling Long, did you notice? Captain's mood is very high. It's rare to see him like this. Yin Huang said with his arms crossed. It should be because Captain has made new achievements in some aspect or solved some problems. It's rare to see him in this state. Ling Long nodded and agreed with Yin Huang's point of view. Every day was like this. Night Sorrow would send the three girls to the martial arts practice field and pick them up at night. Night Sorrow, aren't you going to cultivate the spatial rend? You should go find sixth uncle. When you're done, you can come and accompany us. That way, we can enjoy your transportation with a clear conscience. Sikong Chiyu said while eating dinner. Yes. Although we enjoy this kind of life, we can't delay your matters. Yang Lei said. Night Sorrow nodded. I've almost mastered the spatial rend. It won't take long to learn from sixth uncle. Then go tomorrow. Come back early when you're done cultivating. I haven't cooked in a long time. I'll cook when you come back, Yang Lei said. After resting for a night, Night Sorrow sent the three girls to the martial arts practice field. Then he left Sky City and went to Yi Lingxia's mansion on the night moon. You're here. Let's have a drink first. Then we'll go to the night moon sea. Yi Lingxia had just returned from patrolling the city. Seeing the night moon city recover quickly, he was very happy. After drinking a jar of wine, Yi Lingxia brought Night Sorrow to the night moon sea. Night Sorrow, we Night Clan members cultivate the spatial rend here. In a moment, sixth uncle will demonstrate it. You can watch and then sixth uncle will explain it to you. Yi Lingxia said. Seeing Night Sorrow nod, Yi Lingxia activated his bloodline talent. The spatial rend energy rose behind him and slashed towards the night moon sea. As the spatial rend energy moved forward, the spatial turbulence was cut open. Then Yi Lingxia stretched out his arm and controlled the spatial turbulence to not close. After cutting open the space, use the sovereign's unity of heaven and man to prevent the spatial turbulence from closing. Then use your bloodline talent to protect yourself. You can enter. After explaining, Yi Lingxia pulled Night Sorrow and used his bloodline talent to envelop the two of them and entered the night moon sea. Then Yi Lingxia controlled his body to move through the spatial turbulence. The energy of other attributes will be consumed very quickly here. However, our Night Clan member's bloodline talent is of the spatial attribute, so the consumption is very small. If we encounter spatial turbulence that we can't avoid, then we'll continue to slash. While explaining to Night Sorrow, Yi Lingxia used the spatial rend to move forward. After a while, Yi Lingxia brought Night Sorrow out of the night moon sea and returned to the night moon sea. Then sixth uncle, let me try, Night Sorrow said. Take it easy. In the history of our Night Clan, the weakest who can use the spatial rend to move through the spatial turbulence is a mid-level sovereign. Yi Lingxia said to Night Sorrow. However, he wasn't worried because with him by his side, there wouldn't be any danger. Nodding at Yi Lingxia, Night Sorrow used the spatial rend against the Night Moon Sea. Then he used his sovereign realm strength to control the spatial turbulence so that it wouldn't close. After maintaining his bloodline talent to protect himself, Night Sorrow charged into the spatial turbulence. Yi Lingxia was worried about Night Sorrow's safety, so he followed closely behind. Night Sorrow's protective energy transformed into the polar moon wheel and cut through the spatial turbulence. Only when he encountered something he couldn't avoid would he use the spatial rend. After drifting through the spatial turbulence for a while, Night Sorrow and Yi Lingxia left the Night Moon Sea and returned to the Night Moon Sky. Not bad, this is talent. What you lack is the cultivation of your bloodline talent. As the quality and quantity of your bloodline talent increases, the spatial rend won't be a problem for you at all. However, don't tear through space and enter directly for the time being. It's still dangerous. After all, your cultivation is still a bit low, Yi Lingxia said excitedly. He was really happy. He only gave some pointers to Night Sorrow and there wouldn't be any problems. Is there a big difference between tearing through space and tearing through spatial turbulence? Night Sorrow asked. Chapter 696. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go/Little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. I understand. It's fine as long as the direction is right. I'll slowly cultivate, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Sixth uncle doesn't need to worry about you. Also, if you have any problems you can tell me. You're already the young master of Tianji Tower. If the elders of Tianji Tower hadn't told me about such a glorious thing, I wouldn't have known. Yi Lingxia thought of another topic. I didn't really want to do it. After all, it's inevitable that Night Moon will fight with the other dynasties. But Master Lin Ke and Grand Elder didn't think it was a big deal, so I didn't refuse. After all, it would hurt my reputation. Night Sorrow took out a jar of wine and gave it to Yi Lingxia. He also opened one for himself. Just let nature take its course. It's nothing much. However, to be able to become the young master, this is your ability. You should know that the family has not helped you at all. They have always been a burden to you, said Yi Lingxia. Sixth uncle, don't say that. When I first came to Night Moon City and met the coachman uncle, I felt that such a family is worth fighting for. Even if I die in battle, I won't have the slightest bit of resentment, Night Sorrow said. Then sixth uncle won't say anything. Also, I've reported to the family that you've become a venerable. As for what your title will be, I don't know, Yi Lingxia said. Don't worry, I don't care about that. Also, Elder Ling Lan and Elder Ling Yuan will have to follow the rules of the clan when they break through to the Exalt realm. We'll also have to apply for their titles, said Yi Shang. He didn't want anything that would disappoint them. Yi Lingxia told Night Sorrow that he had already reported everything to the family. He didn't know when the family's arrangements would be made. In addition, the family had also given instructions about the situation in Yuexiang City. Everything should be done according to Night Sorrow's wishes. However, Night Sorrow shook his head. No matter what, those people are my seniors. I can't casually criticize them. It's better to wait for the family to come back first. Then we'll do as you say. If we don't deal with them, we'll be letting them off easy. You want to stay out of this? You really don't have Night Moon's character. At the mention of Yuexiang City, Yi Lingxia's heart was filled with anger. He was even a little afraid. He was afraid that the actions of the people of Yuexiang City had chilled Night Sorrow's heart. If Night Sorrow really didn't care, then Night Moon wouldn't be in this situation now. Original K version first. Release / after that. The two of them arrived at the central area of the Night Moon sky. Now the hall behind the monument had been built. Currently, it was the main hall of the Night Moon dynasty. There were still people handling things inside. Baidu search, AI go female sign shao say www.aichuxs. COM Night Sorrow and Yi Lingxia sat on the steps in front of the hall and drank wine. Yi Lingxia told Night Sorrow about Night Moon's past. They are very arrogant now, but in the past, no matter which dynasty they were from, when they came to our Night Moon dynasty's territory, they had to be obedient. They had to think twice before looking up at the sky, because that is the sky of our night moon. Yilingxie said very heroically. It will be like this in the future. If anyone comes to our territory to look up at the sky, we'll beat them until they lower their heads, Night Sorrow said. This temper of yours, haha. Sixth uncle likes it. Baidu search, AI go female sign shall say www.aichuxes.com, Yilingxie said with a smile. As long as you're alive, you can't lack strength of character and pride, Yishang said. This is the main reason why Emperor Shunxian's bloodline can control the family. It is because of this dominance. Emperor Shunxian is like this. Brother Wang Linghuan is also like this. Nephew Wu Yu looks gentle and quiet, but when he explodes he is very terrifying, Yilingxie said. I think it won't be long before we can see them again. Night Sorrow was still thinking about his parents. Don't worry, they are all well. Your parents are Night Moon's outstanding talents. They are also the pride of Night Moon. It won't be long before we can see them again, Yilingxie said. Yilingxie was also a good drinker. He and Night Sorrow were both in a good mood, so they started drinking. They drank until the afternoon. When the two of them were drunk, there was a row of wine jars on the steps. When Night Sorrow woke up, it was already morning. He and Yilingxie had already been carried back to the mansion. The two of them each had a recliner, and slept very comfortably. The wine is good. Although I drank a lot, I feel refreshed when I wake up. Yilingxie stretched lazily. Haha. Sixth uncle, whenever you come to Sky City, there will always be good wine to serve you, Night Sorrow said. Alright, let's go back. Otherwise, your 3 daughters-in-law will be worried. Yilingxie waved at Night Sorrow, and began to chase him away. Night Sorrow bowed to Yilingxie, and left behind a jar of wine. Then he left Yilingxie's mansion and took the transportation array back to Sky City. After arriving at the martial arts arena, Night Sorrow waved at Sikongqiyu. Come make a pot of tea. Sikongqiyu came to Night Sorrow's side and sniffled. What happened to you? He drank too much. He slept for half a day and one night with sixth uncle. He drank so much that he didn't know anything. He was probably carried back to the mansion. Yishang said with a hiccup. You guys are really gods. How did your cultivation of the spatial crack go? Yang Lei came over and patted Night Sorrow's back. I succeeded. That's why sixth uncle is so happy and drank wine. You guys go cultivate. I'll drink some tea to sober up. Night Sorrow smiled. Watching everyone cultivate, Night Sorrow drank tea to sober up. As his body circulated his true qi and the myriad Daos treasured tome, and his soul power circulated, the effects of the alcohol naturally passed. At night, Night Sorrow brought the 3 women back to the mansion. You're back. Night Sorrow saw Wu Lingfei inside the mansion. Aunt Fei, you came out of seclusion? Night Sorrow rubbed his forehead and asked. I've been out for a few days. I went back to the Eastern Profound Domain to have a look. Then I went to the Tianji Tower and got some news, Wu Lingfei said. What news? Does it have anything to do with us? Night Sorrow asked. It does, but it depends on your decision. To be precise, one of the 3 imperial cities, Haotian City, has appeared. However, it's still in the spatial turbulence and hasn't completely appeared yet, Wu Lingfei said. Haotian City, this name sounds very domineering, Night Sorrow said. The most important thing is that there is a heaven-sealing palace in Haotian City, which can give titles. As long as a cultivator enters the venerable realm, they can enter the heaven-sealing palace. If they are recognized by the heaven-sealing palace, they will be titled venerables or saints, Wu Lingfei said. Is this important? Aunt Fei, don't you have the title of Golden Phoenix? Senior Xie is the everlasting saint, Night Sorrow said. It's not like that. The titles that we cultivators call each other are just code names for convenience. However, the titles given by the heaven-sealing palace are recognized by the heavenly way and have luck. The meaning is completely different. They are 2 different things. The difference is like heaven and earth, Wu Lingfei said. It seems that Aunt Fei has to go once. Night Sorrow looked at Wu Lingfei and said. Chapter 697. Geniuses remember love in 1 second go? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. I'll go, but I still have to figure out the situation. The others are all venerables and saints. I'm only a first-level venerable, so I might be at a disadvantage, said Night Sorrow. If you want to go, then go with Auntie Faye. I think there are many people from our celestial extreme tower who want to go as well. The appearance of Haotian City is a huge blow to the Nine Regions world, Wu Lingfei said. When do we leave? Asked Night Sorrow. There's no hurry. Haotian City is still at the border of the Desolate Sea and the Domain Sea. It will take some time for it to appear, said Wu Lingfei. What's going on? The disappeared Imperial City has reappeared. Night Sorrow still couldn't understand. This is a chaotic world, a great chaotic world. You still don't know that in addition to the Venerable of Time from Jiyu's family, the Venerable of the Dead has appeared in the Western Nether Territory, and the Venerable of Wind and Fire has appeared in the Southernly Territory. Therefore, the competition among the younger generation is very fierce. Everyone wants to be the young king of this era, said Wu Lingfei. Night Sorrow nodded. He knew that he was very outstanding, but the Nine Regions world was so big, and there were many geniuses. He was not the only one. Also, you should know a person called Su Mu, right? Asked Wu Lingfei, looking at Night Sorrow. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. Yes, I know him. He was a former disciple of the Medicine Valley, but I don't know where he went. Night Sorrow thought for a moment and said. He had a deep impression of Su Mu because Su Mu was very strong at that time. He had competed with him for the title of the new king of the Medicine Valley. He had killed Su Wang, but he really didn't know anything about Su Mu. That guy is also very powerful now. He also got a heaven-defying opportunity, and became a disciple of a saint. He threatened to kill you, said Wu Lingfei. Kill me? Haha. Let him come. I was able to beat him up once, so I can beat him up twice. But if he provokes me again, it won't be as simple as just beating him up, Night Sorrow said with a laugh. He's currently under the Silver Dusk Sage's tutelage. It should be the remnants of the Golden Flame sect who brought him to the Qingtian region. Perhaps he was discovered by the Silver Dusk Sage by chance, and became the Silver Dusk Sage's disciple. In addition, he has comprehended the ultimate Earth attribute, the Strength attribute. We can't underestimate him. Wu Lingfei slowly explained Su Mu's situation to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow nodded. In his heart, he had never underestimated any opponent. Why didn't 13 just crush him to death back then? Aunt Faye, what is that fellow's cultivation? Young Lei asked. Late void inquiry stage. His innate talent is astonishing. In addition to the opportunity and the nurturing of the Silver Dusk Sage, his growth is naturally fast. However, the Venerable Realm is a huge threshold. Night Sorrow has already crossed it. He still has to slowly catch up. You don't have to pay too much attention to him, Wu Lingfei said. Su Mu's matter was discovered by the Tianji Tower. Because Su Mu was too outstanding, he caught the attention of the Tianji Tower. However, after some investigation, they gave up on recruiting him. The Silver Dusk Sage treated the Tianji Tower as an opponent. Therefore, it was impossible for the Tianji Tower to recruit her disciple. Besides, Su Mu's temperament was also a problem. After telling Night Sorrow about Su Mu, Wu Lingfei told him about the situation in Haotian City, mainly about the heaven-conferring Great Hall. The three imperial cities, Haotian City, Sudao City and the Central State City, were the three most prosperous cities before the ancient Conferred Gods War. After the Conferred Gods War, Haotian City and Sudao City disappeared. No one knew the whereabouts of the two imperial cities. The only imperial city left, the Central State City, was also left in ruins. Your Time and Space Pagoda seems to have been found in the ruins of the Central State City, by the former city lord of the Qingtian region. Elder Xie said that it seemed to be damaged at that time. Its current state should be self-evolving, Wu Lingfei said. I see. Haotian City sounds more domineering than the Central State City, Night Sorrow said after thinking for a while. Among the three imperial cities, Haotian City is ranked first. The heaven-conferring Great Hall is also located on the Haotian Mountain of Haotian City. According to the ancient records, the heaven-conferring Great Hall was a mystery during the ancient times. No one knows its origin. They only know that after entering the palace, different tests will be set according to the level of the challenger. Those who successfully pass the tests will be given a title. This is also the reason why all the cultivators of the 9 regions want to have a title. 3 imperial cities. I don't know how prosperous the 9 regions were back then. But no matter how glorious they were, they couldn't withstand the erosion of time. Knight Sorrow said with some emotion. Yes, the 3 imperial city lords were all Saint Kings. Haotian Saint King, Sudao Saint King, and Central State Saint King. However, after the Conferred Gods War, there was no news of them. Wu Lingfei said. As for the heaven-conferring Great Hall, Wu Lingfei's knowledge was limited. After all, it was too ancient and was a secret to the people of today. Okay, you continue to cultivate. Aunt Fei will inform you if there is news. You don't need to rush to improve your strength. Improving your combat power is very important. Challenging the heaven-conferring Great Hall depends on your actual combat power, Wu Lingfei said. Wu Lingfei left, and Knight Sorrow fell into deep thought. I say, what kind of world is this? Why can't people be at peace? Sikong Chiyu poured a cup of water for Knight Sorrow and said, we're caught up in a chaotic world. There's nothing we can do about it. Let nature take its course. We'll deal with whatever comes our way. Knight Sorrow sighed and said, let's just ignore these things and cultivate in Sky City. What nonsense is this? Yang Lei said, if it's ordinary, then we can't ignore it. However, we can't ignore this. Titles are related to the fight for fate. I've read in the ancient records that fate is very important. It can directly affect one's achievements. Without fate, you'll lose the favor of the heavens. Nothing you do will go smoothly. 13's cultivation is smooth, and he's obtained a lot of resources. He's also helped the Medicine Valley rise and helped Night Moon stabilize the situation. This is all related to 13's fate, Always said. Yes. 9th senior sister, Chiyu, I have to go. Many things will change when the title Great Hall appears. Getting a title is one of them. Haotian City has disappeared for countless years. This is the first time it appears. It's hard to say what will happen. If there's an opportunity, we'll have to fight for it. Don't the Western Nether region and the Southernly region both have powerful young warriors? Let's try and see who's stronger. As for that Su Mu, I think he's a hidden danger, Knight Sorrow said. Yang Lei and Sikong Chiyu nodded and stopped talking. They also knew that this matter was very important. They only said those words because they were worried about Knight Sorrow. 13. That Su Mu is cruel and merciless. He's not a kind person. He's hostile to you. If you have the chance, kill him, Yang Lei said after thinking for a moment. You're tuning into the Echoes of the Heart YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.